1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
for the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
You're watching Iowa High School basketball on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Tonight we've got an action-packed doubleheader of hoops action as the Dowling Catholic Maroons take on the Ankeny Hawks. And hello everyone, we're delighted to have you with us here on this Tuesday night from inside Ankeny High School alongside Blake Walker. I'm Hunter Phillips, and Blake, we're right on the doorstep of February, and teams all across the state are trying to elevate its game ahead of the postseason, including the pair of programs that will be in action here tonight.
Yeah, Dowling Catholic currently one of the hottest teams in Class 5A. They started 3-4, and since December 13th, they have not lost a single basketball game. They come into tonight 11-4, ranked 4th in the latest polls. And, oh, by the way, on Friday night, they just so happened to upset number 1 Johnston to break their 42-game winning streak. On the other side, Ankeny still very good. They're 8-8, but they're pretty young. But last time these two teams met, Ankeny only lost by 3 points. So if anyone could take down Dowling, it's a sneaky night tonight on a Tuesday night here in Ankeny. Hawkettes have a good challenge ahead of them.
Yep, so the night will begin with a fun matchup on the girls' side. As Blake mentioned, a red-hot Dowling Catholic Maroon squad, winners of 8 straight, going up against the Ankeny Hawkettes, number 15 in Class 5A. A matchup, Blake, that, like you just noted, last time around came down to the wire. It was decided by 3 points. In fact, Ankeny was leading going into the fourth quarter, and we should probably expect another close one here tonight.
Yeah, we should. And Dowling Catholic, I mean, they're a very, poised team. They know what they've been through. Like I said, it's hard to start 3-4 and then win this many games in a row, but they have an experienced head coach, Kristen Meyer. While she's never won a state title here at Dowling, she did win one at Nevada when she was at Nevada with the Cubs and then came here. I hate to say it, despite the years of having Caitlin Clark, Dowling Catholic has probably one of the best chances they've had at a state title this year, and they're led by a very excellent sophomore.
They sure are, and Ava Zedeker, one of the top scorers in the state. A youthful Dowling team that is starting to come together very nicely here this season, and again coming off a thrilling home victory over top-ranked Johnston. Ankeny trying to get back on track following a tough loss at Southeast Polk last Friday. Following our girls matchup tonight, we'll have the boys game as part of a fun-filled CIML doubleheader. We'll step aside and take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue to get you all set up for tip-off here in Ankeny. You're watching Iowa High School basketball on CISN.TV.
75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster? Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you. Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
DeArmond certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondFord.com.
Getting closer to tip-off here on this Tuesday night from Ankeny High School, Dowling Catholic and Ankeny in a fun-filled CIML doubleheader, beginning with the girls' matchup, a top 15 matchup in Class 5A. Hunter Phillips and Blake Walker continuing to count down with you. Dowling entering today's matchup with an 11-4 record, 9-3 in CIML play, and have won 8 consecutive games. Meanwhile, Ankeny at an even 8-8, including a 3-8 mark in CIML play, are 4-4 when taking their home court. And Blake, they're hoping to have that home court magic work in their favor here tonight against a Dowling team that's one of the hottest in the state.
Yeah, they are. And, you know, Ankeny, a couple statistics that they're at least a little better at rebounding, about 3 more rebounds per contest, and they don't turn the ball over as much, and I think that could be a huge advantage for the Hawkettes tonight. And you and I were talking about it. It's just a consistency thing, because last week Ankeny went into Dallas Center Grimes and beat the Mustangs 61-44, and that's the number 1 team ranked in Class 4A that you just beat, who, oh, by the way, has been to the state tournament a couple years in a row. They're led by a really good head coach. Emma Miner is one of the better players in the state of Iowa. They just got to put some things together, and Dowling, you just got to catch them on an off night, because Dowling, you know, they like to score, they like to put the ball in the basket. If they can do that, you're in for a good game tonight.
And the future of girls basketball, especially here in the Des Moines Metro, awfully bright. We noted Ava Zedeker in the outings that she's had, 28 points in that win against Johnston. But then Savannah Gage on the other side, only a sophomore as well. A lot of youthful young talent on this Ankeny squad as well.
Yeah, Gage is just a sophomore, like you said. Gets to play Zedeker for a couple more years, right back-to-back. And then Jayla Williams, just a freshman, and Layla Triton, just a sophomore. I mean, there's a lot of youth around here, and there seem to be the younger girls are really starting to start. I mean, they're starting more than the older girls are, so we expect to see these girls a little bit longer. And, I mean, it just creates good rivalries and good friendships, good matchups between these two for years to come.
And it's going to be fun to see how the two squads will match up tonight in the heat of CIML play as we're knocking on the doorstep of February. Now we'll turn things down to our public address announcer to meet the starters for the first game of our doubleheader tonight between Dowling Catholic and Ankeny.
is Kristen Meyer, assistants Joel Gaynor and Audrey Haber. Assistant coaches for the Hawkettes, Seth Haggerty, Gary Birdwell, and Cody Myers. And the head coach for your Hawkettes, Mr. Drew McAnally. And now let's introduce our starting lineups. For the Maroons at forward, a 5'10" sophomore, number 5, Ellie Olson. For the Hawkettes at guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 2, Savannah Kane. For Dowling at guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 13, Eva Zedeker. For Ankeny, a 5'6" junior. She plays guard, number 3, Kirsten Shad. For the Maroons at guard, a 5'8" sophomore, number 15, Layla Trenton. For the Hawkettes, a 5'9" senior. At guard, number 5, Jenna Hill. For the Maroons, a 5'6" senior. At forward, number 21, Julia Moore. For the Hawkettes, at forward, the 6' senior, number 13, Zoe Shadrowin. And for Dowling Catholic at guard, a 5'10" senior, number 25, Lauren Rurick. For the Hawkettes, at guard, a 5'9" freshman, number 22, Jayla Williams.
So those are the lineups. Now we'll toss it to break, and when we come back, we'll have tip-off for you from Ankeny here on CISN.TV.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
Stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy behind your everyday.
And we are
Obsessively,
relentlessly
At your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Welcome back to High School Hoops here on CISN.TV. Hunter Phillips and Blake Walker, delighted to have you with us here from Ankeny High School. Begins with a top 15 matchup in Class 5A. The Dowling Catholic Maroons taking on the Ankeny Hawkettes. Both teams huddling up one final time, getting final instructions before the CIML doubleheader gets underway. Ankeny will be in their home white uniforms with maroon numerals and lettering and gold trim. Ankeny across the chest, the Dowling Catholic Maroons. And they're all maroon road uniforms with white numerals and lettering, silver trim. And you have the Maroons in the script font across the chest. We mentioned Ankeny 4-4 when playing at home. Dowling 3-3 when playing on the road.
It's tough.
Go ahead.
It's tough to play on the road. I mean, the CIML. These are not easy games. Records show that for both teams.
Sure do. And talent on both sides. Ball is in the air. Ankeny wins it. And we're underway here on this Tuesday night. Savannah Gage, the leading scorer, guarded by the leading scorer of Dowling Catholic, Ava Zedeker. Be a fun battle to watch tonight. Jenna Pitts had a nice outing against Southeast Polk. Floater too strong, and there is Ava Zedeker bringing the ball up the floor for the Maroons. She'll back it out on the drive. Ball got knocked loose out of the hands of Julia Moore. It will remain with Dowling.
You know, tonight it's a very even height matchup on both sides of the floor, but Dowling averages almost about 5 blocks per contest, somewhere around there. So if Ankeny gets down low, it can be a little intimidating down on the post.
Yeah, they are second in 5A in blocks per game as Ava Zedeker lays that one up and in right side.
She's so good. I mean, just off the block, able to get to the basket right when she needs to. She is so fun to watch for Dowling Catholic, just a sophomore.
20.5 points per game Zedeker is averaging. Coming off a 28-point performance against Johnston. I believe scored 32 points in their win prior to that. Again, it's not just the win streak that Dowling is on, it's who they have faced during that time as well. A lot of top 10, top 5 opponents. So they get another rebound off a good defensive possession. Moore off the drive, looking for Ellie Olson. And Ankeny will be back with it.
It's good passing. I mean, good idea on the pass. Good job by Dowling to fill those lanes. Had a chance on the transition offense, but good job by Ankeny to hold tight here on defense.
Ankeny coming off a 12-point loss to Southeast Polk last Friday. A game in which they gave up 15 threes against a Southeast Polk squad that was without their leading scorer, Brooklyn Daly. So trying to pick up the pieces is Drew McAnally's squad, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Blake, just finding that consistency. That's been the one area of difficulty, which it's easier said than done when you play in a loaded conference.
Yeah, if you're playing a ranked team every night, you're not going to be able to probably beat every single ranked team.
Open look for three, and knocking that one down is Julia Moore.
Moore, one of the seniors on this team, but it's always good to have that senior leadership, especially with younger girls able to get that scoring for you.
14th made 3 on the season. She is now tied for 3rd on the squad in total threes. That turnover will give it back to Dowling, and that was another area where Ankeny gave the ball away a little too much to Southeast Polk. 14 turnovers, and the Rams in transition were able to cash in on a good majority of those.
And some nights you can afford to do that, but you have to be forcing turnovers on the other side, and Ankeny doesn't force a ton of turnovers per game.
The up and under floater in for Ellie Olson. Balanced scoring start for Dowling, who's up 7-0.
And they've all come pretty much down low besides the 1-3, and even then they went down low, went back up top. So Dowling, all different types of looks here to start this ball game.
Savannah Gage swings it over to Jenna Pitts, one of the senior leaders for this Hawkette squad. Carson Jacks nowhere to go behind. Shadravan with it baseline. Last off of Savannah Gage. That was working deep in the shot clock, and still an empty possession for the Hawkettes.
I compare Dowling's defense to, I think Ankeny Centennials pretty much go hand in hand. They're very handsy. They like to keep their hands up, make sure you don't go very far, and they're really good at sliding their feet. It's a pesky defense to go against for any offense.
Allowing just 46.3 points per game is the Dowling defense. Here's the Hawkette defense swarming in the low post and earn a takeaway.
See, that time, you love unselfish basketball. Julia Moore probably could have taken that all to herself, but she wanted to pass it off and thought she had a better opportunity. Could have scored it, but that's what you want to see. I mean, having unselfish players is the best thing that Coach Meyer wants to see on a team like this.
An unselfish squad that plays a fun brand of basketball. Carson Jacks going to get a foul on the floor.
And we talk about that handsy defense. Sometimes that can come back and get you if you're trying to slide your feet, keep those hands up. In that case, kind of comes back to bite Dowling Catholic there.
Substitutions in for both teams. See Ellie Mueller in for the first time tonight for Dowling, as well as Maren Heller. And for Ankeny, Jasmine Mosier and Kendra Lewis. And there is Mosier down low, and the hook shot trickles in to give the Hawkettes their first points on the night. It's a 5-point lead for Dowling.
Well, that's against Dowling's top height player. That's Alex Gaskell, just a sophomore, but she's 6'1", comes off the bench. That's a sneaky weapon for the Maroons to have.
Off the drive. Frericks loses it. Scooped up by Jenna Pitts. Nice dish ahead, and finishing is Savannah Gage.
Beautiful transition offense, Savannah Gage. That's a tough play to make. In the catch, follow through, go up for a bucket. You see a lot of girls travel in that spot. Savannah makes it look easy.
Now a bit of an energetic spurt here from the Hawkettes. Maren Heller pulls up from the free throw line and drains it.
Boy, she reminds me of Molly Davis from Iowa, just kind of a smaller point guard, but I mean, once again, another sophomore, just 5'3", but man, she can take that shot off the block better than anyone here.
Speaking of Molly Davis, how about those Iowa Hawkeyes last night in Columbus, Ohio?
Big win for Lisa Bluter. Former Dowling player Caitlin Clark went off another triple-double for her season.
Running in transition was Frericks, and just lost handle of the ball. Good transition D by the Hawkettes.
One thing that might come to help Ankeny tonight, this is a elementary school night for Ankeny. That section over there on the left side of your screen when we pan back across, full of kids. It got loud in here when they go on a little bit of a run. Use that to your advantage. Like you said, it's tough to play on the road in the CIML.
Especially those trips to the free throw line. They won't be as easy off the cut. Getting the finish off the glass is Jayla Williams. And Williams, just a freshman for Ankeny, getting in the starting five, and man, you just can tell that her future is awfully bright.
Just movement away from the ball. That's what separates good players from great players, and Jayla did just that.
So a 3-point lead. Here's a three by Zedeker off the mark. Jayla Williams rising up for the rebound. Pitts taking it to the lane. Floater, no. Rebound tapped around. Pitts, count the bucket and one for the senior.
Boy, she is not slowing down. I mean, great effort down on the block. Really nice job by Pitts. Nice little run here by Ankeny.
Pitts had 20 points, 3 rebounds. One of 2 players for Ankeny to have at least 20 points in that outing against Southeast Polk on the season. Averaging 10.2 points per game. 4.3 assists per contest. And very good at the free throw line, just a shade under 83%. She completes the 3-point play, and just like that, we are tied at 9. And a timeout is going to be called by Ankeny, and it is a 30-second timeout with 2:24 remaining here in the first quarter. So kind of like what we expected, Blake. You know, both teams were going to throw their punches here early, and we're knotted up here.
Yeah, nice 9-2 run. Ankeny's really starting to move without the ball in their hands. That's been the big difference. That 7-0 run by Dowling, they just weren't moving. It seemed like whoever had the ball would do all the moving. Everybody else would kind of sit where they wanted to. And credit to Ankeny, they're starting to move a little bit more. And Dowling, I think, again, they're just passing a little too much. And it's hard to say that, but, you know, they're really taking up shot opportunities. And I think if you're Coach Meyer, you try to get your girls, just shoot the ball. It's okay.
So it will be Dowling basketball out of the timeout. So a good chance for both teams to regroup a little bit here in this feeling out process deep into the first quarter. Frericks, open look near side, knocks it down.
Man, the weapons that Dowling has, and you know, with Frericks the way that she is, a lengthy 5'10", she can beat you down low, and then when she goes outside and hits a shot like that, man, it makes you scratch your head as a head coach. How are you going to guard it?
So second made three by Dowling here in this first quarter. Good passing along the perimeter, and a late foul called against Dowling, and that will send Kendra Lewis to the line.
I'm surprised that ball made it to the hoop. I thought Ferrix pretty much got the ball on the way on the block. Obviously, it was a foul, but good call by the official.
Lewis, another one of those seniors that's one of the vital leaders for the Hawkettes this season. 77% free throw shooter. Just does a little bit of everything well for this squad. Can get big rebounds when needed, battle for those 50-50 balls, and be able to earn a trip to the line when attempting a three-pointer right there. Just controlling the body while up for the shot. She goes 2 for 3 on that trip. 12-11. Dowling Catholic in front. 1:45 and counting to go here in this first quarter. Ferrix, who just knocked down the three, skips it to Zedeker. Nice touch with the floater.
Great.
Get 5 points.
Yeah, great cut. I mean, just off the baseline, knew that she was going to have a chance. Her defender wasn't quite, had her back turned to her, and Zedeker makes a quick move to the basket.
Dowling lead is 3. Pitts, runner short.
Just had a tough time with those quick floaters tonight. Got to make sure you hit those. Those are easy shots.
Zedeker finds an open teammate. A shot left short by Moore. And Hawkettes doing a good job of boxing out to grab that rebound.
Ankeny caught her break. That was a wide open shot there for Julia Moore. Just couldn't quite knock it down.
Here's a good look. And the three is drained by Carson Jacks. And once again, we are all tied up, this time at 14 points apiece.
I'm impressed by Ankeny. I mean, they're sticking step for step here with Dowling so far, ever since that run.
Dowling trying to answer with a three, and that doesn't fall. Moeller, 6'1" freshman, brings down the board. Ferrix stops her dribble mid-post. About an identical almost shot and game clock.
At Muller Height coming back. Freshman playing well there on that rebound, giving her team another chance. Pretty much shot clock, game clock the same.
Zedeker looking up at the game clock. Gives it off to Moore. Now here's Zedeker now with 5 on the shot clock. Zedeker taking it all the way. Layup doesn't roll in. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter here in Ankeny. An exciting start. And this one between the Maroons and the Hawkettes. We're tied at 14. We'll be back with the second quarter after this break on CISN.TV.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday,
and we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
The Hawks' Nest is pretty full tonight here on this Tuesday night. Watching a fun start to this girls' matchup, tied at 14 after one quarter of play. Hunter Phillips, Blake Walker here with you on CISN.TV. And Blake, both teams going on runs, and it just as competitive of a first quarter as you want to see.
Well, yeah, and Ankeny's keeping up with Dowling's movement away from the ball, and they're making the shots inside a lot harder. A lot of contact down low. Now, up top, where Dowling's been able to hit a couple threes, they've been able to get open. So Dowling's still staying a step ahead, but give credit to Ankeny's shooters not going away easy.
Good defense there by Savannah Gage, just keeping her mitts on the ball. Dowling started the game on a 7-0 run, but then Ankeny was able to bounce back with a 9-2 run. And really, ever since then, it has just been back and forth between the Maroons and the Hawkettes. Again, a matchup that the last time it came around was decided by 3 points in the very end. Zedeker has to hoist one up. Too strong.
That's what you want to see. That's the first time we've seen the shot clock get down. Good job by Ankeny's defense.
Jenna Pitts swings it to Shadravan, driving in. They stay with Ankeny. I think maybe Dowling thought that it was last off of the Hawkettes. Otherwise, would have made a play to try to keep it in bounds.
Ankeny's had some good looks down low. They just can't seem to get them going. Once they start hitting those, I think they could be in better shape here.
Pitts hands it off to Savannah Gage. Now here's Shadravan looking down low for Jayla Williams. The pass was just a little too high, and Dowling Catholic will be back with the possession.
I like the idea, though. I mean, that was exactly what they need to do to try to get it down in the post. I think both teams, like I talked about earlier, are pretty even when it comes to their post play, but if you can get down there and try to get to the free throw line, you're at least giving yourself a better chance.
Layla Tritton back in for Dowling Catholic on an 8-game win streak. Last loss came in early December. Zedeker lets one fly. Still looking for that first three on the night. A long rebound brought in by Savannah Gage. Ball got knocked loose from behind, and Zedeker swipes it away. On the fast break, Zedeker in the lane. Friendly touch. Doesn't go. And now here's Pitts. Fast pace here. Here's a deep look. And that one is in for Savannah Gage.
Boy, both teams moving with the ball very well. Good ball handle on both sides. It had to be poked away from behind, and good job by the three-point call there. Well done by Ankeny. Moving quick. You don't expect the three in transition like that, but.
Zedeker in the lane. Heller kicks it out to the corner. And a foul on the floor.
It's a tough call on Shadraven that trying to move with the ball. I mean, Dowling likes to move quick, but got to do anything to stay in front of him.
Just the second team foul for Ankeny here in this first half. Dowling with 3. Searching the inbound is Tritton and lobs it in to Moeller. Heller, step back. Knocked one down earlier. That one doesn't reach the iron, and Ankeny will be back with it.
I mean, you try to create separation. I mean, she was open, too. I think you should take that shot any time. And you just got to keep shooting. I mean, you can't let yourself fall into that trap of, I can't hit a shot. I might as well not take one. And credit to Ankeny. I mean, they've jumped out early here. A 7-0 start for Dowling, and you're like, oh, geez. I mean, it looks like the hottest team in the state's just going to keep rolling here. But Ankeny's responded well.
Took a little bit of time to settle in. Savannah Gage couldn't connect on the floater. Zedeker quickly up the floor, off the glass, no.
And she is just having a hard time, but I got to say, though, she's taking really tough shots.
Gage open. Nice bounce pass there for Mosier to collect and banks it up and in.
Talked about unselfish basketball for the girls on Dowling's side. Well, now Ankeny's starting to play really unselfish basketball. It's working to their advantage.
5-0 run to start the quarter here for Ankeny. Just under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Open corner look, and there's a much-needed bucket for Layla Tritton.
That's a huge bucket for Tritton. Gets open in the corner. And once again, Dowling's had a couple open looks. They've missed a couple more, but Ankeny can't hedge their bets that they're going to miss every single open three-pointer they take.
4th different Maroon to knock down a triple here in this first half. Zedeker matched up on Gage, who pulls up from the elbow. Off the mark. And what an effort by Tritton to save that one from going out. Step back three for Zedeker and buries it.
There she goes. It's only a matter of time before she started to figure it out, and just like that, back-to-back jacks get you ahead of one.
I knew that Zedeker was not going to be quiet for long from downtown. Carson Jacks crosses her defender over a little. Rebound tapped out to Zedeker. It's a foot race to the other end of the floor.
Nice. That was the perfect knockaway by Jenna Pitts. all ball clearly. And I feel like Zedeker is one of the best transition players in the state, or at least in Class 5A that we've seen. Just her ability to get to the basket and get through contact and either get to the line or make a really tough shot.
Well, she leads 5A in free throws made per game, so she is a player that is not afraid to mix things up, either in transition or half-court sets. Dowling at the line here with one of their budding stars, Ellie Moeller.
Muller got a good look down low, kind of spun off her defender. Rewards herself with the trip to the charity stripe here.
Muller, a 78% free throw shooter this season as a team. Dowling, 75%.
And they always say when you get to the state tournament, you at least want a free throw percentage above 70. And Dowling's on that track right now.
It's a good battle from Jayla Williams to do a balancing act there along the baseline to keep things alive here for the Hawkettes. Dowling up by 2, 3:25 to play in our second quarter.
Dowling's second 7-0 run of the game here.
Pitts. Oh, not expecting the pass was Mosier there in the low post. Glanced off of her hands, and Dowling, forcing the turnover, will get it back.
That was great, though. I mean, she knew that her layup was going to be tough, so she tried something else. But, I mean, when they're coming at you quick, it's not like you're screaming, hey, I'm going to pass you the ball. It's got to be a quick instinct. Just couldn't connect there on that teammate connection.
So Dowling still on a run after Ankeny scored the first 5 points of the quarter. They were tied up at 14 after 1. Julia Moore. They'll reset it to Frericks, who gets a screen. Zedeker on the handoff. Knocked down a 3 earlier. Shot clock winding down here for the Maroons. Moore. Try to force one up there deep into the shot clock, and it doesn't go. Here's Pitts. Now with it for Ankeny. Nearly stolen away by Zedeker, and now it's picked off in the center of the lane.
I think Ankeny knows that in the half-court set, they're just not where they need to be, so they're speeding things up, and it sometimes doesn't work for you.
Williams with the spin and the finish.
Whoa. Jayla Williams. Beautiful, nice movement in there. Beautiful spin move. I guess it's laundry day. Nice spin cycle.
11.5 points the freshman averages. Showed off her skill set right there. Difficult enough to do that spin and transition, but then to be able to get the finish. Just impressive stuff as we take another look at that effort in transition from Williams.
It's hard not to travel, but her pivot foot dropped exactly where it needed to drop, and if you carry that pivot foot around, you're going to be just fine.
Maroons have a fresh shot clock to operate with. Zedeker, deep 3 on the way, puts it in.
Boy, she reminds you of another former Dowling Catholic point guard star, doesn't she? That's a heck of a shot by Ava. It's hard to guard. I mean, you got to really face guard her, and you don't want to because then she can beat you so quick.
On limited range for the sophomore, putting Dowling back up by 3. This tight battle thus far. But the Maroons doing good work defensively out along the perimeter, forcing a difficult pass, and now Dowling will be back to work here with less than 90 seconds to play in our first half. Julia Moore backs it out to Frericks, guarded by the watchful eye of Jayla Williams. Moore trying to use contact and draws a foul.
Dowling is so quick off a pass. That time Carson Jack, she's just a little late. And if you're just a little late, you try to body it just so you can help yourself get back to an advantage point. Jack's just a little too much. Only the 5th foul, though. Not been a ton of fouls this half.
Yeah, just 8 combined between the two teams. Moeller doesn't finish, but Zedeker races in to grab the offensive rebound. Back down low to Moeller. And she, on the second try, gets it up and in. I think we're going to see that combination for the next few years.
It's a scary combination, too. I mean, she, with her height, you assume she'll maybe get a little bit taller, and her, repertoire of tools that she can use in the post is just going to continue to grow.
Hits off the shot fake. Rolls that one up and down. 30 seconds to go here in the half. And once again, just taking it right to the heart of that Ankeny defense is Julia Moore.
They're going to send her to the line. I don't agree. I think that was probably on the floor, but Dowling gets a lucky break here. It's not like it's a bonus shot. Ankeny's done a good job weathering the storm. Dowling's gone on 2 7-0 runs. Then they were able to respond with a basket. The defense hasn't given up by Ankeny, that's for sure. But I think, the 3-point shots, you gave up 15 to Southeast Polk. You've given up almost, 5 here so far. That's going to be tough. Got to guard the 3-ball.
And even some of the threes that haven't been made by Dowling, they've had a number of good looks. So maybe one of the adjustments that Coach McAnally will try to draw up at halftime. Moore goes 1 for 2 from the line, making it a 4-point Dowling lead here, as Ankeny more than likely will hold for the final shot here in our first half.
Overall, I'd say good half by Ankeny. I mean, considering the team that you're playing and how Ankeny's been playing as of late.
Gage off the handoff. Shadrovan couldn't handle it, stepping out of bounds.
That's twice tonight. I think you just got to anticipate it. If you're going to be open under the basket, you got to trust that your teammates are going to find you, and you got to make that type of shot. That's a tough play.
Enough time for Dowling here. The hoist one up. Zedeker from half court heaves it, and just short. But that will put a bow on our first half here in Ankeny. An exciting opening 2 quarters of action here at Ankeny High School. And at halftime, Dowling leads Ankeny 27-23. We'll step aside for a break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime report, recapping the action from the first half, and also maybe look at some scores from across the metro here on this Tuesday night here on CISN.TV.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go!
So can your car. So to get a free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
When you need to conquer the drifts on your property, get the job done your way. The Western Defender Compact Snowplow. All the professional grade features in just the right size for your mid-sized pickup or SUV. Easy to attach and easy to use. Get the performance to plow like this and finish like this. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
The Armin certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond Certified used vehicles at DeArmondAuto.com.
We've reached halftime here at Ankeny High School. Good one here after 2 quarters of play. Dowling up on Ankeny in this girls matchup. Top 15 matchup in Class 5A, 27-23. Hunter Phillips and Blake Walker back here with you. So first off, Blake, just your initial big takeaways there from the opening half. Both teams with steady runs. It was tied at 14 after the opening quarter, and then you saw Ankeny get off to a great start to the second quarter, but then Dowling settled in, and so tell you what, it's been as entertaining as you could ask for.
I think Dowling's ability to get out, make shots in tough situations, Ava Zedeker obviously leading the way in that aspect, but be able to take and make the three from beyond the three-point line. And for Ankeny, I think it's just the ability that they've been able to respond, because you get down against teams like Dowling and Johnson and them, it's hard to do that. And Ankeny got down 7-0, immediately responded, tied it back 9-7 or 9-9. So, I think for Ankeny, the turnovers are killing them. They just got to cut down on the turnovers. And all these have been under the basket. It's not like they're getting beat at the perimeter. It's they're getting beat down low because they're just not watching for the basket. I think you got to anticipate just a little bit more. And both teams, it's the right idea. They know what they're doing on offense. Just got to anticipate things just a little bit better.
Yeah, certainly the turnovers probably an area that head coach Drew McAnally is pointing at for his team, especially the good looks, like you mentioned, Blake, that they had in the low post, and maybe zeroing in on some of the shooters defensively for Dowling Catholic. Had a lot of good looks on the outside. And so you see the youngsters here at half court, Hawks Nest here with a shooting contest. We do have some other games going on across the state, across the metro, of course. Want to update you on some of those scores. Johnston, who Dowling just defeated last Friday, on a mission at Valley tonight at halftime. It's 33-14. And then, Blake, I believe, Waukee up at Ankeny Centennial.
21-11 Centennial up on Waukee last time we checked.
And Centennial, a team that's trying to get in the mix of things as well leading into the postseason. And these are two teams that are looking to, again, start to play their best basketball here down the stretch as well. It's a 4-point lead for Dowling Catholic. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll get you ready for the second half next here on CISN.TV.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand, custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you.
Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
Welcome back here to Ankeny High School. Score Dowling Catholic 27, Ankeny 23. We got the heavy hitters in the house tonight. Paul Yeager there on the left. Tom Wilson, athletic director for Dowling Catholic, and of course one of the top football coaches of all time in the state. multiple championships for the Maroons. So taking in a little basketball up here in Ankeny.
I mean, it's good to have, one of the most famous Iowans in the state here, and then Tom Wilson. I think that's really cool. Really cool to see that. Good to see Yeager. Good to see Tom. I mean, there's no off season for those two. Those are two of the busiest guys in the state, and good to see them checking in on the action.
And another one of the busy guys that just to the right of them is Mark Amadeo, broadcaster for Dowling Catholic. He's courtside for Iowa Catholic Radio and one of the great friends of ours here on CISN.TV. So both teams are out getting ready for the second half. And so, going back to what we saw in the first half, Blake, Dowling Catholic really got things going to begin, except for the second quarter. They really put together some runs. And so for Ankeny, with a 4-point deficit, you got to have to think that they really want to start off this third quarter strongly.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they can't start slow like they did in the first quarter. Yes, they were able to come back into it, but nobody likes to play from behind. And a 4-point lead in this type of game, I don't know about you, but it almost feels like that's insurmountable, if anything. It just feels like in this type of game, you really can't get behind. Against a team like Dowling that's so red hot, they've won 8 straight, they haven't lost in more than a month. You just can't afford to get behind against these girls. But Ankeny's been able to they've been able to get the ball down low. It's just you can't turn the ball over against a team like Dowling. Defensively, I think you got to be happy with what you've done. You forced a couple shots late in the shot clock. Ankeny just can't shoot yourself in the foot with turnovers.
So both teams huddling up before we get ready for the second half. And Dowling, winners of 8 straight. Ankeny has lost 3 out of its last 4. But have been close in the majority of those losses, trying to shake off a tough one at Southeast Polk on Friday, while Dowling's trying to build off of a thrilling win against top-ranked Johnston to end their massive win streak. So again, we appreciate all of you for joining us here on this Tuesday night from Ankeny High School. Boys matchup will be coming up next. That'll be an intriguing matchup on the boys' side. Dowling boys also coming off a win last Friday against Johnston. And Ankeny is able to finish one out at Southeast Polk, so want to stay tuned for that. Ankeny will have the ball to begin the third quarter. Gage off the catch, driving in. Knocked around the iron a couple of times. The ball last off of Ankeny. It will go to Dowling.
I'd like to take to the basket, though. I mean, I know they've been struggling down in the post, it feels like, a little bit, but got to keep shooting. And in that case, again, I don't hate the call there.
So Dowling, number 4 in Class 5A. Zedeker off the screen. Finds an open player, knocking it down is Layla Tritton.
As Dowling starts hitting threes, you might consider yourself in trouble because now they've hit more than at least 5. And, that's tough, and that means you got to respond on offense. And you and I talked about can't start slow here if you're Ankeny.
7-point lead, tied for the largest on the night for Dowling, and another turnover by Ankeny. Carson Jack's not on the same page with Zoe Shattervan, but it's been the balanced scoring by Dowling that's been impressive. Zedeker's gotten hers. Here's another look for Triton. Doesn't connect there. And it will go to Ankeny.
Well, they got lucky again. That time they got confused on the screen. No one from Ankeny came over, and Dowling had an open look. Very lucky they missed that one.
Try to claw their way back once again are the Hawkettes. Zedeker knocking that one out of bounds.
Got to get a shot here if you're Ankeny. Can't go too long on a drought.
Shattervan's pass nearly stolen away. Going to be an over and back on the Hawkettes, and that was Zedeker just swarming right in on Savannah Gage. And a timeout's going to be called by Ankeny.
Dowling has picked up the pressure. A lot more on-ball, up-in-your-face defense, and it's forcing Ankeny to make decisions on the fly, and Ankeny just hasn't succeeded at that. Take a look at the replay here. Again, if you just give them a little bit of space, even if they don't have to be that wide open, but if you give them a little bit of space, they can make shots like that.
Dowling averages just about 6 made threes per game, and have hit above that thus far tonight. And it's just been a number of players that have been on the receiving end of having good screens, good passes. Just a solid effort thus far tonight by Dowling here on the road. Julia Moore turning the corner.
Nice.
Nice give up in the middle, but Ankeny takes it away. Gage trying to catch up with it and puts on the brakes just in time.
That was a great block. A little too far ahead on the pass, but good save there by Gage. That's exactly what Ankeny needs to do. Now you just got to put the ball in the basket. You put together a couple good defensive possessions in a row, make it happen on the offensive end.
Jenna Pitts delivers it down low. Jacks trying to use glass. No. Rebound by the Maroons. Sedeker pulling up. In and out. Strong offensive rebound there by Olsen. Fresh 35 on the shot clock to work with for the Maroons. Here's Moore. Driving in, not afraid of the contact. And Ankeny survives that possession. Looking for their first points here in the second half. Gage, reverse, left a little short, but great second effort by Jacks racing in to grab the rebound and the putback.
It's always good to have somebody to get your back. That time, Ankeny got real lucky because once again, Dowling's defense in the post is just so strong. They really don't let you take any easy shots up against the glass.
5 left to go here in the third. It's a 5-point lead for Dowling. Tritton out to the corner. Frericks short on the three, but a pair of Maroons were there to scoop up the rebound.
2. Like you said, 2 Maroons there. Ankeny's struggling with the glass here, trying to get the board. But, I mean, it's only a 5-point game. You put together like 4 or 5 defensive possessions in the row. Got to get the ball in the basket here. Ankeny's defense has played great. I know it doesn't seem like it, but, man, they're playing great against a team like Dowling. Just got to get the ball going.
A couple new Hawkettes in the lineup, including Kendra Lewis, who just had the ball moments ago. Here's Pitts. Gage called for the travel.
And give credit to Dowling. I mean, their defense to start here has been pretty good as well. They've only given up 2 points in, 3.5, 4 minutes here.
We've seen both teams really trade those good defensive possessions, but it's been Dowling getting the buckets when needed.
Well, yeah, only 5 points total scored this entire quarter by both teams combined.
Saved out of bounds by Ankeny, but goes back to the Maroons. That was a great hustle play there by Kendra Lewis. Sedeker off the drive.
That's twice execution has come back to bite Ankeny on a steal. You have an open transition bucket, but you're throwing it too far down the floor.
Moeller garners a double team. Off the head fake, Tritton loses it. Another good stop there by Ankeny.
This is just back and forth we go. Great defense by both teams.
Now can Ankeny try to climb closer. Pitts pulls up and knocks it down.
That is the perfect shot for that situation. Don't force anything. Just take the mid-range shot that you want to go with. Just like that, you're back within 3.
Sedeker now controlling things for the Maroons.
Boy, Ankeny's zone, they're just kind of, I don't know, they're moving around, but you leave a wide open shot like that.
That was deep nestled in the corner there for Frericks.
And that's a tough call because, yes, you can get beat on man, so then you go back to a zone. But if you got a team like Dowling who is so good and can outshoot the zone, then you're in trouble.
Second made three tonight. There's good footwork there from Savannah Gage to get that one up and in left side. Both teams trading the bucket here last time down the floor. Quick hands by Jayla Williams sends that one into the stands. So Julia Moore coming back in for Dowling. Ankeny will be going back to Carson Jacks. Here, 2:35 to go in the third. There was a 4-point lead at halftime. It's still a 4-point advantage for Dowling.
I tell you what, Jayla Williams was playing with fire. She kind of stepped aside and said, go ahead, go to the basket. I'll try to block you. She did block her. Not going to work all the time.
And Jenna Pitts, who got an and one back in the first quarter, draws the foul while going in, and she'll be at the line to shoot too. But, yeah, that was kind of a risky play there by Williams. It can go either way, but just knowing that you have the confidence of being able to come up with your length and get the block against a good player in Lauren Ferricks.
Hunter, it took almost 6 minutes for the first foul to be called in this quarter. And it's not like there's been instances where there could have been fouls. It's just been clean, good defensive basketball going up and down the floor.
Yeah, 8 total fouls were called in the first half. So good point. It's just been clean, but also hard-nosed basketball on the defensive end for both squads. 2 minutes to go. Dowling up by 2. Zedeker for 3. Knocks it down.
And even when you don't think she's going to shoot it, she decides to shoot it. Really heads-up play there by Dowling.
Just such a quick release by the Stellar sophomore. It's going to be a full timeout on the floor. And we'll take one as well. 1:52 to play here in our third quarter. Dowling up by 5 on CISN.TV.
All love a good win. However small or ordinary, losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Timeout called by Dowling after a made bucket by guess who? Ava Zedeker here in the near corner. Blake, and as confident as you'll see in the young player and letting that one fly, and she's knocked down 3 triples tonight.
Yeah, she has, and I mean, she's been so good, with the ball in her hand. She can move. She can beat you without the ball in her hand. She's so quick. Big reason Dowling has their lead right here, but neither team can just pull away, and mostly Dowling. Dowling's been the one with the lead. Ankeny's done a good job of putting together a couple strong defensive possessions right in a row. Just haven't seen a ton of scoring right in a row.
Well, Ankeny had a brief lead in the second quarter, but give credit to Dowling. Whenever Ankeny has made tough plays, whenever they have been able to get points on the board, the Maroons have had a response.
And this is an Ankeny team like you and I talked about in the pregame. Consistency has to be something they strive for. They beat Dallas Center Grimes last week, who's ranked number 1 in Class 4A. This is about the type of game that they played against Dallas Center Grimes, but you're playing tougher competition, that's for sure.
Savannah Gage, contested 3, doesn't go, but Jacks grabs the offensive rebound. Pitts in and out. Gage trying to go on the third try, and Moeller shuts the door.
I like the shot look, though, for Pitts. I mean, if someone's going to make it, it's going to be her. And despite the miss, you got to keep taking those shots.
Zedeker kicks it out. 3 is drilled by Julia Moore.
That is a huge shot. Big backbreaker for Ankeny. Zedeker, she draws in just enough attention when she goes to the basket, and it leaves Moore wide open for 3.
Largest lead, 8 points for Dowling here with 35 seconds to go in the third, and a tie-up.
That's going to be Dowling basketball. And what was a good quarter put together by Ankeny here in the last minute. Just a little bit of slipping. Again, there's that three. Again, you bring in a little bit more attention. You draw attention to yourself. It's hard to get that girl back on the perimeter. Great last minute here by Dowling.
Well, if Ava Zedeker's not knocking down a shot, should say she's getting her
She's going to create
involved.
one, yeah. She's going to create one.
So off the takeaway, Dowling trying to build onto their lead. Moeller finds Zedeker, just knocked one down here moments ago. Gets past Gage, up and under and in. Impressive finish by Ava Zedeker here in the winding seconds of the third. And Ankeny will not be able to put up a shot to end the quarter. What a response by Dowling in the final 2 minutes to take a 10-point lead into the fourth quarter. After a break, we'll have that fourth quarter for you here on CISN.TV.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Into the fourth quarter we go here on CISN.TV. Hunter Phillips and Blake Walker here with you in Ankeny High School for a CIML doubleheader, starting with what's been a fun matchup on the girls' side. Dowling with a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And Blake, in the last two quarters, Dowling has held Ankeny below 10 points.
Yeah, and it's just been strong defensive effort. They're going to call a foul down there. But, Ankeny didn't get to the line really at all. Dowling, I don't think, got to the line any. But, just so far, shots just haven't been falling for Ankeny. And you knew they couldn't hold on defensively for that long. Dowling started to make shots.
Ava Zedeker with the final bucket there to end the third quarter off a drive from the corner. Also knocking down a three there in the third. And a balanced scoring effort. Layla Tritton with a number of points tonight. Julia Moore as well. But Ankeny getting free throws from Savannah Gage. They're on the Hawkettes. Trying to get something going here in the fourth quarter. Zedeker with a burst of speed, just driving through the lane with ease and getting it up and in.
Well, and another thing that Dowling's doing is it's an Ava Zedeker takeover. I mean, even when, like we said in the third, even when she's not shooting the ball, she's creating shots for her teammates. That's when Dowling gets really tough to beat.
Another big performance by one of the top scorers in the state. Jack steps one back, and that one doesn't go. Moore brings it up. Three on the way by Tritton. Just short. Ankeny trying to work in transition. Gage pulling up mid-post. Back iron.
That's a strong presence to have underneath if you're Dowling, if Ankeny's trying to take these mid-range jumpers.
Zedeker losing the dribble there for a moment. Up top, driving in is Tritton. Moore puts one up and knocks it down.
Well, you can't guard that. I mean, that's just Julia Moore playing the style of basketball that she likes to play from the corner. Automatic for Dowling.
Ankeny trying to respond with a three of their own. Went just 2 of 14 in that loss at Southeast Polk. It's been kind of a similar night tonight. The threes have been few and far between by the Hawkettes. Need something going here. Down by 13. Largest deficit on the night. Boy, nothing going there. Jenna Pitts searching for a backdoor cutter, but they were cut off by the Maroons there in the post.
Zedeker, even when she didn't even mean to, she still stopped that thing from getting there. Good defense all across the board by Dowling, and Ankeny just cannot get a shot to go right now.
So since 2006, this series is tied 14-14. But since 2013, Dowling has won 12 out of the last 14 meetings, including, of course, earlier on in the season. You just think about all the players that Dowling has had during that stretch. Caitlin Clark, we all know about her, but even Audrey Faber, who's now an assistant coach for Dowling and had a great collegiate career at Creighton.
Oh, the state title back in 2014 for Dowling. You know, they've been close. They've been to the state tournament a couple times, but, you know, just finishing. Got to finish. And like I said in the pregame, it feels like this team has one of the better chances that we've seen Dowling have in the last couple of years. Even when they've had Caitlin Clark, this team, there's just something different about them. I don't know if it's just defensively or just all around they're built together really well, but Coach Meyer has something really good cooking here at Dowling this season. And it looks like, you know, we'll continue a trend tonight. Still haven't lost since December. And that is something you want to have going into the postseason. And it improves your seed.
In her 7th season at Dowling, of course, succeeded the great Bob and Sharon Hansen. 3 in and out. Should mention another one of those players that was on that 2014 title team was Becca Hittner. Played locally at Drake, a 3-time Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. And so that is what teams like Ankeny and schools from across the metro, that's the kind of talent that they have had to face from 2013 on. It just starts at the grassroots level, and Dowling does it just about as good as anyone here in the state.
Well, and you and I were talking about it in the pregame.
Next up there in the post, a timeout's going to be called by Ankeny, and will be a full timeout. We'll get back to that thought after we take this quick break. 4.5 to play here in this one. Dowling up by 13 on CISN.TV.
Certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondAuto.com.
So timeout on the floor called by Ankeny. Have some work to do here, down by 13. Here as we have about 4:32 left to go in this one. Hunter Phillips and Blake Walker here with you on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Stay tuned for Game 2 of our doubleheader, which will be coming up after this one is all over on the boys' side.
Before we went to break, we were talking about seeding, and, you know, Dowling got the big win over Johnston. Dowling, in the latest rankings as of last Thursday, they come out every Thursday, Dowling is ranked 4th. Johnston most likely will drop to either 2nd, but you and I are talking about it. Dowling's in a weird spot. They have 4 losses, so they're technically above other teams that are better record-wise. But I just don't, you know, as much as Dowling, I'm sure they'd love to be a top 3 team, I don't think the girls' union would put them above Pleasant Valley and or Waterloo West. But still, you got to give credit to Coach Meyer and her team for how they've played, and they get a very tough game soon. They go up to Sioux City East on a Saturday. Sioux City East is a very good team, top 15 here in Class 5A.
Hard-earned bucket there for Ankeny. Carson Jacks gets it off and in.
Well, so they've rallied against a 7-0 run to start. They rallied again in another 7-0 start by Dowling for the most part. I mean, it's still possible. They've been able to put together a couple defense possessions, but great passing by Dowling is going to be hard to get that.
Julia Moore with just a beautiful dime there for Ellie Moeller for a textbook layup. So just when Ankeny gets those points, they have been able to couple that with a stop. Savannah Gage going up against Zedeker. Left-handed layup, left a little short. They'll stay with Ankeny. And the Now going back to the seeding and talent all across the state. Go to the other side of the state, Waterloo West. Sahara Williams named to the McDonald's All-American team.
She's good. I mean, for a center, I mean, just very talented. She's got a really good point guard to help her out with Hallie Pook. And, I mean, they've been there. They've been to the state tournament, but they just haven't been able to get over that hump. Either they've been upset or they just can't get it done in the end because they faced a buzzsaw on like Johnston or teams like that. This could be the year for Waterloo West. They had that slip up against Linmar in overtime, and the people kind of said, what are we doing here? Is this really a good Wahawk team? But very experienced coach, very experienced roster. Everything is in the cards for Waterloo West to get a state title finally in what has been years of trying, it feels like.
Dr. Tony Pappas there at Waterloo West, and that was a team that when Pook and Williams were freshmen, you just knew that this was a team that was going to be special. And
I can't remember, did they make it to the title their freshman year or sophomore year? I know they made it to the side, I think last year was when they got upset, I'm pretty sure. But, no, they're very, very talented. They've been there forever. It's one of those where you're like, wow, they've been here for a long time.
Well, and along with Ava Zedeker, those two for Waterloo West are in the top 5 in scoring in Class 5A. Ankeny trying to dwindle the lead down. Here's we have less than 2.5 to play. 11-point lead for the Maroons, who are looking to keep their win streak going. Off a tough drive, Kendra Lewis backs it out to Pitts. Down low to Mosier. And a foul on Moeller, and the Dowling bench not fully agreeing with that call on the floor.
You know, coming in, a lot of people wonder, how does Dowling have so many blocks? Well, that's it. I mean, Moeller is so good on the post at 6'1". She can really get up there and get a shot. That time, it looked like all ball, but officials saw a little bit of contact.
Averaging 3.9 per game, Dowling does. Against second in 5A. Empty trips at the line. Hawkettes cannot afford that here with their senior Jasmine Mosier.
And we talk about that game for Dowling Catholic up against Sioux City East. Sioux City East is the #1 scoring team in Class 5A. That's ahead of Johnston and Waterloo West. So Dowling going to have their work cut out for them. Granted, Dowling has a good defense. Sioux City East doesn't play as strong as competition as Dowling does, night in and night out. I know East lost to Bishop Heelan. They're a very good team in the lower classes.
Julia Moore knocked one down earlier here in the quarter. That will stay with Dowling. Ankeny couldn't quite bring down that rebound. And those are two programs, Dowling and Sioux City East, that do have a bit of a history when it comes to reaching the postseason.
Well, and I think for, Dowling, I feel like a lot of people are going to kind of look at them underneath the radar. I think you look at their bench, that was one thing. They don't really have a lot of girls on the team, and they play most of the girls that they sit. So, you get to state, and you're like, oh, they got all these girls. You got this tall girl. No, they're just really good all around. They can shoot the ball. And, tonight, I'd say they're having an average night at the three-point line. If they're on the arc and they're shooting well, this team is tough to beat. They beat Johnston by 14 points. You don't beat Johnston by 14 points and break a 42-game winning streak like that. That is a huge win for the Maroons, and you can only guess that they're going to get better from here.
It just took a little time for things to really click for this group. That the losses mounted early, putting a lopsided affair to Valley. Now you're kind of seeing Valley kind of go a little bit in the wrong direction with Elise Yeager, one of the top posts in the state. They're having their hands full with Johnston tonight, but Dowling, a team that's certainly got to be bullish on here as we're getting close to flipping the calendar to February.
And one of their teams that they lost to, one of their 4 losses was an out-of-state opponent at the Quad City tournament. The same team, they only lost by, I think, 20. The same team that beat Audie Crooks and Bishop Garrigan by almost 40. So, just kind of one of those things that you challenge yourself with these really hard games, and then on top of that, you're going to play a stacked CIML schedule.
There's another unselfish play. Nice give by Ferricks to find Moeller, who's got 4 points here in the fourth quarter. 13-point lead for the Maroons. First shot was a little strong off the glass, but then the follow there for Zoe Shadravan, her first points on the night. And now you're going to see the fouls being committed by Ankeny here, and they do have fouls to work with, but time not on their side. 1:09 to go.
And I mean, tonight, overall, I think Ankeny has played a pretty good game. I think it's just Dowling has played a little bit better. And the turnovers, I think the turnovers, like we talked about, were going to be a huge factor in tonight. And when you get going like Dowling does, it's an avalanche that's pretty hard to stop.
Lloyd Moeller coming off the bench. It's been big in key spots on both ends. That was just beautiful off the inbounds. Gage probing through the lane. Well, she has tried real hard to get something going, but it leaves Carson Jacks open, and a much-needed three knocked down there. Timeout called here with 41.2 seconds to go. Full timeout. It's a 10-point lead for Dowling. We'll take a quick break as well here on CISN.TV.
When you need to conquer the drifts on your property, get the job done your way. The Western Defender Compact Snowplow. All the professional grade features in just the right size for your mid-sized pickup or SUV. Easy to attach and easy to use. Get the performance to plow like this and finish like this. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
41 seconds remaining here in this top 15 matchup. Class 5A on the girls' side. Dowling has been in control for the majority of the night. Up by 10, and they will be inbounding it out of the Ankeny timeout. Ankeny has one timeout remaining and expect some fouls here from the Hawkettes. They've been called for two here in this second half. So
That's impressive as it is. The game's flown by tonight because there's only been 15 fouls called total.
Ava Zedeker with a rare mishap.
It's a rare mistake by Zedeker, but that's good defense there by Ankeny. Now you just got to put the ball in the basket.
Jayla Williams will inbound it for the Hawkettes. Pitts will catch it. Gage. Shadravan. And how about Moeller closing the door on that one?
How about a fourth quarter for her? Couple points, couple blocks. Got called on a foul. Probably could have been, should have been a block. She's really stepped it up here in the late goings.
And again, just a freshman for this Maroons program. Another look at the latest block from Moeller. And you mentioned just getting better as the game progressed in the fourth quarter when Dowling really needed plays out of her. That was when she was able to break through. Now it's up to 4 team fouls here on Ankeny with 26.4 seconds remaining. So for Dowling, they'll be back at home to take on another tough one in Southeast Polk on Friday. Ankeny letting seconds roll by here. Now another foul called.
And that's a Southeast Polk team that will most likely have Brooklyn Daly back. And that last loss, Dowling's last loss, was to Southeast Polk. So you know that the Rams have to be ready for a Maroons team that's going to be very anxious to play them once again.
And that was a game in which Dowling had a big first half lead, and things just really slipped away in the second half. We have a final from Valley. Johnston bouncing back against the Tigers, 59-46 in that one.
Valley had an uphill battle knowing that they had to play a Johnston team coming off a win or a loss for the first time in almost 2 years. It's a tough go. And Valley, I mean, I think that's 9-6 almost now or something like that. Starting to slip just a little bit, and you still have time. You have the rest of the beginning here of February, get things figured out. If you can finish the year out with like 3-4 strong wins, but pairings come out soon, and we get to figure out who you're going to play, and got to set yourself up in a good spot here if you want a chance to make it to state tournament.
Yeah, so time for that program to really dig deep here late in January. Meanwhile, moving over to Ankeny, they'll be back on the road later this week on Friday at Waukee Northwest. And then the following Friday, it's the crosstown rivalry with Ankeny Centennial.
That Northwest game, Northwest got that big win over Waukee last Friday, and everyone's like, okay, so they're not quite done yet, but that'd be a tough match. This is a good win tonight for Dowling Catholic. Move that win streak to 9. Coach Myers got something going here at Dowling Catholic. Watch out for them the rest of the year.
The Maroons roll on the road. The win streak continues for Dowling Catholic as they topple Ankeny 54-42. Dowling improves here on the season to 12-4, 10-3 in the CIML, while Ankeny drops to 8-9, and they are 3-9 in the CIML. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up our coverage for Game 1 and get you ready for Game 2 on the boys' side next here on CISN.TV.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do.
Welcome back here to Ankeny High School. Dowling Catholic on the girls' side wins their 9th straight. They defeat Ankeny 54-42. And coming up, we'll have the boys' game here on CISN.TV. But for now, we'll take a break. Here from Ankeny High School, Game 2 of our doubleheader featuring the Dowling Catholic Maroons and the Ankeny Hawks is coming up shortly. This is Iowa High School basketball on CISN.TV.
Here comes Northwest. Kelderman drives the floor. Up and in!
Back the other way, over to Lewis. Lewis, deep three-pointer is buried.
Here comes Omaha Blue. Look out, Blue! Hello and welcome to the CISN Game Break Show. I am your host, Blake Walker. We got a lot to cover in the next 10 minutes, including top 5 plays from this past week, rankings in both boys and girls basketball at the 5A and 4A levels, and what we got coming up on CISN this week. Let's jump right into it. Taking a look at our Class 4A IHSAA basketball rankings. First, these are courtesy of the IHSAA coming out on this Monday afternoon. Number 1, Cedar Rapids Kennedy. They still remain undefeated. They are one of the top scoring offenses in the state of Iowa. They hold serve at the number 1 ranking spot. A couple people thought that the team below them, Waukee, might jump. The Waukee Warriors sit at number 2 after their victory over Waukee Northwest, an astounding blowout victory over the Wolves. Waukee defeated Waukee Northwest last Friday night. The Wolves dropped to the 3rd spot. Waukee Northwest is their 2nd loss of the year. Waukee has 2 losses. Both teams have 2 losses. Waukee Northwest losses come to Valley and Waukee. The Warriors' only losses come to Ankeny and Waukee Northwest. Again, the thing that everybody's thinking about is, can these teams mate in the state title? Well, for that to happen, Cedar Rapids Kennedy would have to lose, because at this rate, Waukee and Waukee Northwest, if the seeding stayed the same, they would go into the state tournament at Wells Fargo Arena, and they would most likely play in the semifinals. But Valley, who is at number 4, does play Cedar Rapids Kennedy very soon, and that could be a game to watch if the Tigers can take down the Cougars in what should be a phenomenal basketball game. Valley is starting to figure things out. They are at the number 4 spot. A tough loss to Waukee a couple weeks ago still hurts, but a win over Waukee Northwest has their agenda looking good. Indianola at number 5 at the Little Hawkeye Conference. The Indians, without their star Drew Kingery, have still hung on and won games. Very close.
They barely beat Newton last week, but their only losses coming to Waukee by very few points. Indianola could be a very sneaky team when we get to the state tournament. Sioux City East is still undefeated, but their record against teams out on the western side of Iowa just hasn't been that great in terms of competition. They sit at number 6. Ankeny Centennial slipping as of late, but they should be back up against it soon. They have a tough game against Waukee Northwest still to come. That should be a fun one to watch. Ankeny Centennial at the number 7 position. Luke Winkle and company. If they get hot beyond the three-point line, watch out. That team can be very dangerous. Cedar Falls at number 8. Dubuque Senior at number 9. And North Scott has started to figure things out. They sit at the number 10 position. Moving on to the girls' rankings here in Class 5A. Thank you to the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, courtesy of these rankings. At the top, pretty much has stayed the same all season. Johnston, Pleasant Valley, and Waterloo West. We expect these three teams to probably be the top. Johnston did lose to Dowling. Dowling Catholic broke Johnston's 42-game winning streak, so the Maroons have also put their name in the top 4/5 as legit contenders to be a really good team. Dowling Catholic, if I remember, did not start very well. They have picked it up significantly the last couple weeks. Dowling Catholic could be a very dangerous team moving forward. Your next section of teams, pretty much like I said, has stayed the same. A lot of movement. Davenport North really hasn't moved a ton, but they stay in that 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th position because their strength of schedule out east not the best. Ankeny, Centennial Valley, and Southeast Polk, it seems like they're swapping positions every single week. Southeast Polk has been without their star Brooklyn Daly, but she is expected to come back soon, and they've still been able to win. Valley, Ankeny, Centennial, pretty much the most even teams on paper that you could see. Valley has slipped just a tad lately, but they're starting to figure things out as we move on. Cedar Falls, Iowa City West, Sioux City East, Iowa City Liberty, a couple teams out east and west have been looking pretty good. Sioux City East lost a tough one to Bishop Heelan last week. That was a tough loss for the Black Raiders. They'll try to get back on track. Iowa City West looks strong as always. Iowa City Liberty starting to figure things out. And then the back half has obviously changes a lot. You see a lot of teams around 500. Linn-Mar, who also beat Waterloo West earlier this season. They're a tough team. Waukee was ranked. We'll see if that stays the same. Waukee is in and out of the rankings. They lost to Waukee Northwest. And then Ankeny as well, another good team that has been moving up and down the rankings as the season's gone on. That's your top 15 in the girls' Class 5A rankings. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back to get you our top 5 plays of last week, along with what's coming up this week on the Central Iowa Sports Network. We'll be right back. You're watching the CISN Game Break Show.
DeArmond certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondAuto.com.
For 75 years, Holt Service Trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
All right, time to hop into our CISN top 5 plays of last week, starting at number 5. This comes to us from Southeast Polk High School. This is Drew Turnbull in a close match with Ankeny. Drew Turnbull hits the corner three-pointer to extend the lead for Ankeny. Ankeny would go on to win the ball game here over Southeast Polk. The Hawks starting to go on a little bit of a run. Watch out. Number 4, this is Gia Blazer of Ankeny against Naomi Templeman of Raccoon River. Templeman was down 8-2, comes all the way back, grabs the takedown, and then she turns Gia on her back. This is in the third period, and grabs the pin and fall. What a win to win the conference at her 140-pound weight class. Naomi Templeman, unbelievable at number 4. Moving on to number 3, Waukee Northwest. The girls up 23-16 over Northwest. Houck goes all the way and gets swatted back by Sadie Moss. Sadie Moss had a huge night for Northwest, both scoring offensively and defensively. Take another look. Kirsten Houck goes to the basket, and Moss just sends it right back and is able to get away with the steal also as well. Moving on to number 2. Ankeny and Southeast Polk on the girls' side. Ankeny goes up for the shot, gets blocked by Solseth, and then back the other way. JC Mitchell up off the glass as the buzzer sounds. Southeast Polk would go into the half leading 35-22. What a block. And then JC Mitchell, the awareness to get down the court and let go of it just before the buzzer sounds. And for number 1, we'll send it to our announcers so you can listen to what number 1 was when Omaha Ballou threw it down.
Here comes Omaha Ballou. Look out, Ballou! Nasty. Absolute filth.
An unbelievable dunk by Omaha Ballou, who finished with 20-plus points, couple rebounds, and then how about this highlight dunk? East Bay pulled out in a crosstown rivalry. Unbelievable. While the Iowa State recruit, Omaha Ballou, destroyed the rim. What a week. CISN Top 5. Jumping ahead to our CISN broadcast schedule for this week, on Thursday night, the 26th, we got wrestling over at Waukee Northwest. Ankeny Centennial takes on the Wolves in what should be a phenomenal duel between two very good squads. Tyler French and Keith Borness are on the call for that one. That one starts at 7:30. And then Friday, we got a doubleheader on both sides, 2 doubleheaders. Southeast Polk travels to Dowling Catholic. That girls' game should be absolutely phenomenal. That tips off at 6:15. And then Ankeny goes on the road to take on Waukee Northwest. The Ankeny boys team just upset Waukee a couple weeks ago. Can they do it to the Waukee Northwest boys as well? That is your broadcasting schedule this week for CISN. That will wrap it up for us here on the CISN Game Break Show. Once again, want to thank everyone for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Blake Walker. We're going to send it to your game. Thank you for watching the CISN Game Break Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ankeny High School here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening for part 2 of our doubleheader. The Ankeny Hawks at 6-9 take on the Dowling Catholic Maroons at 6-7. Hunter, both these teams have won 3 out of their last 5 games. For Ankeny, that's pretty good. They've won 3 straight, so they were 3-9. They're now 6-9. And oh, by the way, they've beaten Waukee. You know, nothing bad against that. Dallas Center Grimes, who was one of the top teams in Class 3A, and Southeast Polk, they were able to survive a close one on the road. Dowling Catholic coming off wins against Ankeny Centennial, did lose back-to-back to Valley and Waukee, but then beat Johnson Iowa City West. These are 2 teams that, while they're not close to a ranking by any means, the improvement to get to the postseason and at least have a solid run to make a possible upset run at the state tournament, very possible.
Yeah, I really think so, Blake. I mean, this is the time of year when you really want to start to see things click. If you're these coaches, that's what you've seen so far. You know, for Ankeny, the wins haven't been pretty. They haven't, been dominant wins. I mean, coming off their most recent outing against Southeast Polk, but they find ways to make plays when needed. And so they've relied on a lot of guys, especially in their backcourt. That's what's going to be the fun battle here. The guard play in this game is going to be just exceptional. I mean, on both sides of the ball, guys are going to be able to shoot. It's going to be a matter of who's going to be able to come up with stops. Rebounding, obviously, is going to be a really big key. And taking care of the basketball, always a big key, but especially in a matchup where you know it's probably going to go down to the wire. Which team is going to, take care of the basketball, make those big plays when needed. It's going to decide it all, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
When Ankeny was 3-9, 3 of those lone wins, one of which was against Dowling Catholic. Ankeny won the first time this season back on December 16th. 74-65 was the final score of that one. Ankeny, like I said, has won 3 straight now. Dowling has won 2 straight. Someone's going to get a big win tonight and, improve that season record just a little bit more. Dowling trying to get back to 500. Ankeny trying to get closer to 500 as both teams continue to improve. We're going to take a break. We'll be back for our starting lineups and such. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of Central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
DeArmond certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondFord.com.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand, custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening for the boys' side of this doubleheader. Dowling Catholic, the girls defeated Ankeny in our first set. Now we get ready for the boys' side, in which should be a good game between two teams that are starting to figure things out here as the season progresses on. We're going to send it down to our PA announcer. We'll get you your starting lineups for tonight.
Our guests tonight bring with them their school colors of maroon and white. They are the Dowling Catholic Maroons. And proudly playing for the maroon and gold, your Ankeny Hawks. Head coach for Dowling is Clay Fielking, assistants James Nahas and Nicholas Wagner. Assistant coaches for the Hawks, Nathan Toby, Mark Roush, Brandon Johnson, and Chris Tanner. And the head Hawk, Mr. Rick Carlson. And now let's meet our kit captains for game number 2. First of all, Kendrick Lehman, Ethan Schultz, Ian Stave, Clayton Larson, and Nielsen Roeder. How about a hand for our kit captains? And now it's time to introduce our starting lineups. For the Maroons, a 5'11" senior. Number 3, Davis Sheck. For the Hawks at guard, the 5'9" senior. Number 3, Maddox Ward. For Dowling, a 5'11" junior. Number 4, Joey Capola. For Ankeny, at guard, a 6'2" senior. Number 5, Jameson Hatton. For the Maroons, a 6'1" senior. Number 5, Drew Morrow. For the Hawks, at guard, a 5'10" junior. Number 11, Carson Johnson. For Dowling, a 6'3" junior, number 12, Ryan Duffy. For the Hawks at guard, a 6'3" junior, number 21, Leo Aguirre. And for the Maroons, a 6'4" junior, number 21, Riddick Metten. For the Hawks at guard, a 6'3" junior, number 25, Cash Schooley.
All righty, we're ready to get going here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Ankeny and Dowling. Dowling in their all maroons with black trim, darker gray numbers. We'll see how that goes tonight. And Ankeny in their all whites with red and gold trim and maroon numbers. Hunter, final thoughts before we get going here. This one should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, I really think so, and I think it's going to be interesting to see these first few possessions, how these teams come out energy-wise, and who can get the upper hand early.
One big step for Ankeny is the help of Jamison Patton. He was out for the beginning of the season. Getting him back has been a huge part of this offense. He's number 5. We'll see him tonight. Obviously a big-time football player on the gridiron. Get to see him down low. Ankeny gets the ball first. We are underway here at Ankeny High School between the Hawks and the Maroons. Ankeny comes in at 6-9. They've won 3 out of their last 5, 3 in a row. Dowling Catholic 6-7, same thing. They've won 2 in a row, but 3 out of their last 5. Leo Aguirre spins into the paint, and he is going to travel on his way there. The ball will go right back to Dowling.
And that's going to be the battle to watch. You know, Dowling is going to have their hands full with Aguirre. He's such a versatile scorer. He's left-handed. He's a guy who's got a real high motor and a good opening possession defensively for the Maroons.
Dowling gets it back down low. Beautiful play down on the block. Number 12, Ryan Kleppe.
Boy, Metten found him right there on the elbow at 6'4". He's got the height to be able to have the vision to see his teammate there in the post.
Aguirre down low, hard foul, offensive foul on Aguirre. And a tough knock to the floor for Kleppe, who just got the basket to go on the other side, and it'll go back to Dowling.
And you see Aguirre is not afraid to challenge at the rim, and so Dowling, they know that they're going to have to be able to match that physicality and be able to draw a big foul.
Well, Aguirre and Patton, they have a similar type build. They're bigger guys that can really push the floor for Ankeny. There's a tough shot up and good once again. Kleppe, he's got 4, all 4 of Dowling's points to start. Just getting going here in Ankeny. Aguirre swings around. 3-pointer from the wing. That is good. Carson Johnson, the junior.
Carson Johnson, Maddox Ward, 2 guys in the backcourt that are going to let it fly from deep, and those are guys that all night long have to be able to make those kind of shots.
Maroons have it here at the top of the key. This is number 21, Riddick Melton. That one's going to be banked in. 3-pointer all the way from the wing. Guess what? It's Kleppe again. 7 straight points for Kleppe to give the Maroons a 7-3 advantage. Johnson for 3 to respond. He's got back-to-back threes.
I think we both had a feeling that we were going to see spurts like this where both of these teams, when they're feeling confident, you know, they got a number of guys who can really knock them down from the perimeter, but Dowling nearly getting another good finish there in the paint. Frustration foul there from Riddick Melton. He nearly came away with a very athletic, acrobatic, almost reverse layup in. That's a stop that Ankeny really needed.
Take a look at the replay here on a Carson Johnson 3-pointer. He's got 6. Kleppe's got 7. 2 scorers on the floor right now. Pass intended for Aguirre down low. Ankeny can't catch a break there. That was a missed opportunity there, as it looked like Maddox Ward thought he was going to cut back inside. 7-6, Dowling will bring the ball back up the floor. Under 5.5 to go here in the first quarter. Sheck had it for a second. He'll hand over to Joey Capola. Back down. Nice move. Up and under. Won't go. Patton jumped early. Metten couldn't get it to go. Hawks reset at the top of the key. Johnson all the way to the hoop. Strong take by number 11. Up and in for 2. And just like that, Ankeny has taken the lead over Dowling.
Boy, just the start that they needed from Carson Johnson with Maddox Ward not getting too many touches early.
Tough physical basketball so far. A lot of contact, just one foul for each team. There's a floating shot that won't go by Joey Capola. Maddox Ward looks to push. It's knocked away from behind. Here come the Maroons back the other way. One-on-one up the floor. Good defense by Aguirre. That's knocked out, and that will be Ankeny basketball. And Carson Johnson, actually they're going to give it back to Dowling. Carson Johnson took a hit on his ankle. And he's going to hobble back up, and I think he's going to go to the bench, and he will. That would be a tough loss for Ankeny. They'll go check on him, and into the ballgame comes Drew Trimble. And actually, they're going to send Carson Johnson back to the locker. Nope, he's just going to go to the medics table. Check on him. Kleppe to the basket. No, won't go. Had a good look, overshot it just a little bit, and Aguirre brings it back up the floor with an 8-7 advantage.
3 good looks for the Maroons there in the paint in their last few possessions.
Patton down low, forces his way down, a little too hard off the glass. Here come the Maroons back the other way. Three-pointer from the wing. Too hard off the side iron, hits the top of the backboard. It'll be out of bounds. Good look, though, for Joey Capola. And Ankeny will bring it back.
Yeah, and you see both teams really starting to cool down a little bit in terms of scoring, but kind of like the girls' game. I mean, just real back and forth, fast pace, and really on the defensive end, that's where these teams are really making it difficult. Just what we kind of, I think, expected to see. Two teams that may not have the height, but they got talented guards to make plays.
2 straight blocks by Dowling. Send it back the other way. The Maroons in transition. That one's lost on the way up, and that is going to be Ankeny basketball. Both teams going a little too quick, it seems like, for their own good.
Yeah, especially Dowling trying to work there and transition. They got a real nice block defensively. Just couldn't quite get the bucket to go, but Ankeny trying to build on this run that they're on.
Trimble here in the corner gets it to Aguirre. Leo hands it right back up. 16 to go on the shot clock. 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 8-7 Ankeny. Trimble for 3 in the corner. Bounces off the top, rolls in, but it's out of bounds. Sometimes they don't call that, but with the new shot clock in, it's almost like you have to call it because it's almost going to hit the shot clock every single time.
Yep, so for the officials, they just have to, make that judgment right then and there, and have a tough break for Ankeny. Dowling trying to regroup here offensively.
8-7 in favor of the Hawks. Kleppe. He's got all 7 points for Ankeny. Lost it there for a second. Picked right back up by Drew Morrow, and Morrow tries to go behind the back to Davis Sheck. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Sheck all the way and off glass behind his back.
Boy, impressive finish there by Sheck, using the opposite side of the glass there. And we're seeing Dowling have a lot of success in the paint. And how about that nice find there from Maddox Ward? Be able to get it into Devin Akers. He's a guy that Ankeny head coach Brant Carlson loves, having his versatility off the bench. Whenever he can score, it's almost a bonus.
Kleppe, another big shot. Another three-pointer to add to his repertoire. It extends the lead for Dowling to 12-10. Akers, like you said, 6'3" coming off the bench. That's about as good as it gets. We're going to get a blocking foul on Drew Morrow. They still have not updated the scoreboard here in the arena. It should be 12-10. It says 10-9. So we'll wait for that to be updated. 1:32 to go here in the first quarter. A couple substitutions. Ankeny brings in number 15, Jason Williams.
I think we're going to have a stoppage here at the scorer's table. Make sure they
there
reset the score. Now they got it.
Maddox Ward will throw in from under the basket. He goes up top, and it's Trimble with it here. That one knocked away. Kleppe all the way and continues to be on a scoring run tonight.
That was just a lazy pass there along the perimeter. And, yeah, Kleppe.
12 out of the 14 points?
Guy who averages just under 5 a game. Put the team on his back early.
Akers strong up over top. Knots it back up at 14. Or was that 12? See, now I'm confused about the score. They say 14-12. Three-pointer from the wing. Can't go. Williams looks to push the floor. 14-12, we believe. Maddox Ward back to Aguirre. Aguirre loses it on the way to the basket, gives it right back. Ward stop and fire. Off glass won't go, rims out. Dowling has it. Shot clock is dead. A back and forth first quarter here between the Maroons and the Hawks. And like the girls' game, not a lot of fouls called so far. Keeping it pretty clean. But the story has been Ryan Kleppe. 12 out of the 14 points for Dowling Catholic. Sheck back outside. Three-pointer from the top. Goes in. Jack Odie. Big three-pointer to end the quarter, and the Maroons are firing on all cylinders from beyond the arc. 17-12. We'll take a break. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors, and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. The Hawks Nest student section out in full force. He said it was neon night. I see a little bit of neon. Take a look at the replay of that last three-pointer by Jack Odie. That's a narrow jumper, but if it works, it works. And Hunter made a quick observation during the break. Carson Johnson went out with a possible ankle injury there in the middle of the first quarter. He is now sitting at the table, the medic table, I should say, being looked at by the trainer, and he has his shoe off and his ankle is wrapped. So I'd expect we do not see Carson Johnson the rest of the evening. Yeah, that's a big loss.
Sure is. He scored their first set of points. Here's Dowling is just clicking on all cylinders right now, and now a number of other guys getting involved. Capolo coming off an excellent game against Iowa City West on Saturday. Just a dynamic backcourt for the Maroons that, it took a while for them to really get going. But, man, they have really started to heat up here in January.
Everything's working for Dowling Catholic right now. They're hitting from beyond the three-point line, and they're forcing really tough shots by Ankeny. There's another three that's going to drop. Drew Morrow, timeout Ankeny. How about the Maroons and what they've been able to do on offense? 23-12. It's all Dowling Catholic. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
When you need to conquer the drifts on your property, get the job done your way. The Western Defender Compact Snowplow. All the professional-grade features in just the right size for your mid-sized pickup or SUV. Easy to attach and easy to use. Get the performance to plow like this and finish like this. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Welcome back to Ankeny High School. Dowling Catholic leads Ankeny 23-12. Both teams starting to figure out their winning ways, and we thought tonight was going to be a close match, and it has been, but Dowling Catholic just will not miss from beyond the three-point line.
No, when you get Drew Morrow going, I mean, that's just an added bonus right there. Obviously one of the top scorers for Dowling, but was a little quiet early on. But, when you have Ryan Kleppe coming in, and scoring 12 out of your first 14 points. I mean, that really opens things up for everyone else. We saw Capola knock one down here to start the second quarter, and especially without Carson Johnson on the floor. I mean, that's really opened things up for Dowling, who comes away with a stop on defense, and that is not what Ankeny wanted out of their own timeout.
Yeah, we can't confirm. Carson Johnson is done for the night as he has his foot wrapped in ice, and it looks like he will not return for the remainder of this ballgame. We hope the best for him. Dowling Catholic continues to still fire from beyond the three-point line. Ankeny's had a couple tough shots down low, a couple turnovers. You're going to have to start to figure that out. But this is a team that's on a 3-game winning streak, and one of those wins being against Waukee, who just destroyed Waukee Northwest. So this Ankeny team, I mean, they can play. And just a tough start here tonight against a team that's just shooting really well.
Yeah, they've proven that, no matter the opposition, I mean, they can match up with a lot of the teams here in the Metro, and they've been able to overcome quite a bit. But it all starts on the defensive end. They really need to zero in on those shooters and need to get something to go on offense, and that is a welcome sight for Ankeny getting Jamison Patton on the board.
Well, and Ankeny's never been one of those schools that just gets up and is dominant all season long. That state championship team back in, 2020, 2019? I think it was 2020. That team was very underrated. They went into the state tournament, I believe, as a 7 seed or an 8 seed, went on and won the whole thing. They're a really tough team. I think they beat Waukee that year. So, I mean, they're a school that just likes to go back and forth.
Yeah, they sure do. And I think it was Braxton Bayless, I want to say that was just a tremendous showing he had in that state tournament. And it just goes to show that, guys they can come together at the right time and make that kind of a run. And, we've seen it from Ankeny. They've been able to have the athletes to put it all together. And, Dowling's hoping for the same thing as well. And so, these are two teams that I think they could be primed for an upset possibly, when we start talking about postseason, as you saw a nice block from Akers on that replay.
Again, he brings a lot off the bench. It's fun to watch. 26-16. Dowling continues to be able to knock some big threes down from beyond the arc. 11 seconds to go on the shot clock, though. Good defensive possession by Ankeny so far. Morrow all the way through contact. Won't go, and we're going to have a foul that time on number 21. That's Riddick Metten. That is just the 5th foul overall for both teams combined. 4th foul, though, for Dowling. Ankeny has just committed 1 foul, but Dowling really hasn't taken it down low to even warrant a foul, it seems like, so far.
Just a much better job by Ankeny, really closing in out there along the perimeter. Maybe see if they can get Leo Aguirre going. But on the same page there.
That's a couple times here this quarter they have not been on the same page in terms of how they've run it offensively, and the lead remains at 10 for Dowling. And the Maroons, even though the state doesn't go by the Bound Power Index, the Maroons are a top 10 team in the Bound Power Index because of their wins against tough competition. There's another three-pointer that's going to roll in. Joey Capola, 29-16. Dowling Catholic on top of Ankeny.
And he is a guy that, he's had to miss some games this season. Still looking to average double figures in scoring, but with him out there paired with Drew Morrow, this is a formidable backcourt, and when they are hitting shots, they can hang with just about anybody.
Patton down low gets fouled. And that will send Jamison Patton to the line. Talented wide receiver for Ankeny this past season. Take a look at that last three-pointer. Sometimes it's just your night if these type of shots are rolling in.
Yeah, shooter's touch, as they like to say, and it's even great when you can get it on the road. Dowling, I think they were at home for the last 5 or 6 games or so, so you always want to play like you're down by 10 whenever you're on the road. You often hear that you got to bring even that much more energy out there, and we've seen that by the Maroons, not only with the way that they have shot the ball, but just working on the defensive end, just making Ankeny really work thus far here tonight.
Patton misses both at the charity stripe, and Dowling Catholic will try to take advantage with a 13-point lead here in the second quarter. Sheck, the senior, had it for a second, back to Coppola. And Kleppe, he's been hot here to start. Wide open, another corner three. Dante Cataldo, that time won't fall in. He was open though. Nice move, back underneath. Nice footwork, Cash Shulin. His first points of the night.
Yeah, Shulin had a difficult night against Southeast Polk, but showing off the Euro step, but you can't be trading buckets right now if you're Ankeny trying to get back in this ball game.
That was a nice play by Davis Sheck. 3.5 to go here in the first half. Like you said, trading baskets. Aguirre had a shot at a three. He'll go baseline instead. Tough and one.
Boy, if you're a defender, you just got to know that a freight train is coming your way with Aguirre and just got to hope for the best. And so really like the aggressiveness from him. You know, we saw him get called for the charge back in the first quarter. But, yeah, if Ankeny's going to start coming back in this game, this is a guy that they need to really have a big night. And again, he can beat you in so many ways.
Aguirre able to knock it down. 3-point play is complete. I swear though, he commits more offensive fouls just because of that aggressive play, but it's either going to work or it doesn't work. Got to take advantage. That lane separated perfectly for Ryan Kleppe. Everything's working for him this half. 33-21. We continue to trade baskets here.
That's just great recognition by Kleppe. Now he comes away with the tip.
Coast to coast all the way up and in Joey Coppola. 35-21. Dowling on top of Ankeny. Timeout on the floor for the Hawks. It'll be a quick 30-second timeout. 35 points in the first half in high school. That is a tough feat. Dowling is hitting on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, and they're doing it not only from the outside, but I think they really started the game by emphasizing, paint touches and getting really hard layups to go there, and just numerous guys. I mean, it's been a balanced scoring effort, and so it's really made Ankeny kind of guess defensively. We saw a breakdown there most recently with Kleppe getting the floater, and then he got the tip on the other end, leading to a breakaway layup. And so Dowling's doing it on both areas, and so Brant Carlson's just pleading to his guys like, we need to come up with something here, because Dowling they've come out as the more energetic squad. They've just been a little bit quicker and playing more together.
What a start for Dowling Catholic. 35-21, 2:47 to go here in the first half. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening on the Central Iowa Sports Network. A lot of good games happening across the metro tonight. Valley and Johnston, along with Waukee at Ankeny Centennial. Pass down low, almost taken away. I think Waukee Northwest is at Southeast Polk. That's just by elimination. Aguirre off glass. That won't go. Knocked out of bounds. That will be Dowling Catholic basketball. And Waukee looks to be continuing their strong run from the Friday night victory over Northwest. They lead Centennial 22-9.
Well, and you were there for that Waukee Northwest. You, in fact, were there for the first matchup of that Civil War. That looked like an unbelievable atmosphere out there in the western part of the metro.
Yeah, it was. I had never seen a game like that. Unfortunately, I never got to see Harrison Barnes or Doug McDermott play in some of their high-level games, but that was one of the best atmospheres I've ever seen, both college and high school. Southeast Polk's playing Urbandale. That's a correction on my part. But, Waukee, 22-11, they lead over Centennial, closing in on the end of the first quarter. Waukee led Centennial the first time those two teams played 19-1.
We were there for that one.
That was one of those games where you're like, oh my goodness, like, okay, what's happening? And then Centennial came back, almost won the game. So, yes, Waukee's playing great basketball, but Centennial's a tough team. And I'm sure this Ankeny team would love to get their rematch here with Centennial next week. 35-21. Maroons go all the way to the basket. That's not going to go for Kleppe. Ankeny will push the floor against Carson Johnson, injured in the first quarter, an ankle injury. He is out for the rest of the ball game. That's a big loss for Ankeny. They'll try to get things back rolling. Ward, had a chance at a three, didn't take it. 1:28 to go on the clock. Williams back outside to Patton, and Patton fires a long three from the corner, and it rims out. Dowling gets the lucky rolls, and Ankeny just cannot grab any.
That's just a tough one right there, but Dowling really making it work there for the Hawks, and the Maroons just keep on rolling here with a good finish with the contact.
That's Davis Scheck on the and one. His teammates love it on the other end, and it is all Dowling so far. Beautiful coast-to-coast move. They've been really good in the transition offense.
Yeah, that's where they've really kept Ankeny on their toes. Not knowing where they're going to go with it in the transition game, and just really in all facets, Dowling's had the upper hand here in this first half.
Patton spinning, kicks back outside. Ward again had another shot at a three, didn't take it. Williams back out to Schoolin. Schoolin goes all the way, draws contact to go to the line to shoot two to try to break the scoring drought here by Ankeny.
Well, you just sense a little bit of lack of confidence right now from Ankeny on the outside. They've had some, decent looks, but just opt to pass it out. They need to find a spark in the second half for sure, and definitely got to take advantage of the trips at the line.
Rims out on both. That's the second time tonight that has happened. .31 seconds to go, about 10 seconds between shot clock and game clock. A dominant first half by Dowling Catholic. That has been the main point and tail of the tape, and success beyond the three-point line. Drive to the basket, and a hard foul on the end of it. And Dowling will go to the line. That is the fourth foul committed by Ankeny here. That's Schoolin's second foul of the half. And Joey Coppola goes to the line, and he will sink his first.
And a Dowling team, and they drive with so much confidence going in, and they just have a trio of guards that really at any point that can go in and know what to do deep in the shot clock, and that's what you saw right there. Two big makes by Coppola.
40-21, 10 seconds to go on the clock. Ankeny trying to grab something here. They've been on a big scoring drought. Ward loses it. Here comes Dowling back the other way. Stolen back by Trimble. 1 second on the clock. Misses off glass. What a half by Dowling Catholic. A couple three-pointers. Great defense overall. 40-21. We'll take a break. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of Central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go!
So can your car. So to get free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
When you need to conquer the drifts on your property, get the job done your way. The Western Defender Compact Snowplow. All the professional grade features in just the right size for your mid-sized pickup or SUV. Easy to attach and easy to use. Get the performance to plow like this and finish like this. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
DeArmond certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondAuto.com.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Ankeny High School, Dowling Catholic leads Ankeny 40-21 at the halftime break. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. A dominant first half by Dowling Catholic, a lot in part to the success beyond the three-point line.
Yeah, and it was Ryan Kleppe that really got things going for the Maroons early, scored 12 of their 14 points. First set of points there in the first quarter, and then a couple of other guys started to click there. You saw Cataldo knocking down a three, then Drew Morrow, but they were just really able to attack Ankeny all over, not just on the outside, but also get a lot of success on the inside, finding open lanes and being able to work. And I think forcing Ankeny into a lot of the turnovers on the defensive end. I think that's where Dowling has really got a lot of success working out in transition. So, man, they outscored Ankeny 23-9 there in the second quarter to really give themselves a big lead here at half. So Ankeny, a little bit of soul searching to do, I'm sure, in the locker room. Obviously, Carson Johnson, a big loss for them. He was the guy that really got them going in the first quarter, scored their first 6 points, and he's out with an ankle injury. And it just seemed like nobody was really able to step up after that point. And so for Dowling, they're riding a win streak coming in, and they're just playing like the more confident team here through one half.
Wanted to take a look at our AP Top 10 rankings that just dropped yesterday. Cedar Rapids Kennedy, still the number one team. They lead the state in a lot of categories in Class 4A, including points per contest, averaging about 78 per contest. Waukee jumps to number 2 from number 3. Waukee and Waukee Northwest switch places. Waukee Northwest jumps to 3. Waukee jumps to number 2. Things get interesting, Hunter, when we talk about the seeding because so if everything holds serve, Kennedy would be the 1 seed, Waukee would be the 2 seed, Northwest would be the 3 seed. But if you're a CIML fan or just a fan of Waukee and Waukee Northwest and really want to see them play again, it wouldn't be for a state championship because of the 2-3 seed. If you're a Waukee or Waukee Northwest fan, Valley does play Cedar Rapids Kennedy here in a couple weeks. That game has to be won by Valley, or else Cedar Rapids Kennedy could force a semifinal matchup between Waukee and Waukee Northwest.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to really look ahead to that. Everyone wants to see that Civil War matchup potentially in the state title game, but I tell you what, that'll be one to watch. I believe that game is at Valley.
Yes,
so,
yes, it is.
And they're a team that's really playing at a high level right now. Stinson Jr.'s been playing very well for Valley. They've been a lot of fun to watch, but it's always interesting, no matter if you're talking basketball, football, any sport, when those teams from the eastern part of the state come in, then it's a whole new ball game. So that'll be one to watch here in a couple of weeks. And so, yeah, it's fun to look ahead because, we are, closing in on about a month until state basketball time down at the Well. And so, yeah, teams from all across the metro looking to make their place down there.
Valley comes in at number 4. The Tigers looking pretty good, trying to keep and hold serve. They got a tough one against Johnston tonight. Indianola at number 5. The Indians were without Drew Kingery for a while. I don't know if they have him back, but their only loss is to Waukee by not very many points. I think they only lost by 4. The Indians are rolling through the Little Hawkeye Conference. They're playing close games, but they're hanging in tight. They should be a tough team. Sioux City East at number 6. The Black Raiders are trying to get a win in a state title for the state on the western side. Fun fact, since 2002 was the last time a team from western Iowa won a state title. Oh, by the way, it was Sioux City East. Sioux City East, the Black Raiders, trying to get western Iowa back to the state title contention. Ankeny Centennial at number 7. They got a tough one against Waukee tonight. Luke Winkle and company trying to keep things rolling. Cedar Falls, Dubuque Senior, North Scott roll out the rest of your top 10. Very good basketball. Very good basketball. A lot of basketball still to be played here in the month of January and into February before we start figuring out very soon what our districts look like. We're going to take a break. We'll be back for the second half of action. Dowling Catholic on top of Ankeny, 40-21.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand, custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and you've probably noticed there's shortages on most everything in the market today. Well, Heat and Glow has helped us out this year, and they are focusing their energy on their gas fireplace inserts. So if you've got a drafty old wood-burning fireplace and you want to get it retrofitted into a beautiful, high-efficient gas fireplace, come see us. We will have product to sell you. Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert from Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas at Urbandale, just west of Homeacres.
DeArmond certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondAuto.com.
Welcome back to the second half here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. Dowling Catholic on top of Ankeny, 40-21 is your score. A lot of success behind the three-point line has gotten Dowling where they have been tonight. The Maroons have won 2 straight after losing 2 straight, trying to get back on track and once again put together a little bit of a winning streak. Both these teams, Hunter, could be very, very dangerous in the postseason if you happen to face them.
Yeah, they really can, and it's because they got, guys on any given night that can really do a lot of damage, especially on the outside. We really haven't seen that from Ankeny here tonight. Got to give more credit to Dowling and how they've been able to prepare here defensively, but I think a healthy Ankeny squad, if Carson Johnson is back healthy, they can compete with really anyone here in the Metro, and Dowling, it's tough to beat a team when they're starting to heat up and play their best brand of basketball, and that's what we've seen out of the Maroons here as of late. And so now we'll see, how Ankeny comes out here to start this second half. No doubt they just need to come out with more energy on both ends of the floor and need to get a few buckets here to start off the second half.
Yeah, if he did miss it there in that first half, Carson Johnson did hurt his ankle. Went to the medic table and took a shoe off, and they wrapped it up in ice. He is currently on the bench, or behind the bench, I should say. He is done for the night. Ankeny with the turnover, and then Dowling with the turnover. Hawks trying to get something running here on offense. A big scoring drought. What'd you say? You outscored 23-9 in that second quarter as Patton airmails that thing over Maddox Ward's head. And it will be the second straight turnover in the span of 30 seconds for Ankeny.
Yeah, 23 points in a single quarter. That is a lot of scoring. And, it all got started from beyond the arc. And that's really helped them kind of balance things out and how they approach in their half-court set and how they're able to get more finishes in the lane.
You got a score update for us from Centennial.
Yeah, 36-21. That game is just going to halftime there on Centennial Digital.
A lot of people, including myself, with Waukee as the season kind of started, you're like, are they going to play to their full potential? It just felt like you're so good. You got so much talent. And, you lose to Ankeny and then lost to Waukee Northwest, obviously. But that last Friday, I think that was the big wake-up call, and I think it really turned a lot of heads to say, okay, Waukee is here. They've started to figure it out. And Coach Canassi and his team are starting to really get things rolling. And that would be another top 10 win if they can get it tonight over Ankeny Centennial. A very good team. Maddox Ward hits a three-pointer to break that scoring drought for Ankeny.
Yeah, the jungle, as they call it, is north of us here in Ankeny. Tough place for anyone to go to and try to win at.
Travel down low, and Ankeny forces a turnover. That could be a big spot here as they try to close back in on this deficit. Trailing by 16. Ankeny could really not get much going from beyond the three-point line like Dowling was. Maddox Ward for three, and he gets called on an offensive foul.
Just kind of threw out the chicken wing, if you will, there. Trying to create separation there on that step back. And
Ankeny on a little bit of a press here to try to catch Dowling off guard. But the Maroons are very quick passing it down low. They go back up top to Kleppe. And Kleppe all the way to the basket puts it up and in. How about the night tonight by Ryan Kleppe?
And he, too, is a guy that started off by, pulling up in the mid-range, getting shots to go from deep. And ever since then, 12 points in the first quarter. He was a guy that just opened up everything else for his teammates.
Leo Aguirre missed it short on the other end. The Maroons have it back. Kleppe, top of the key, guarded by Pat, and they'll go three-pointer from the wing. And once again, Joey Capola knocking it down, and the Maroons continue to hit threes with ease.
Well, just catch and shoot right there, hitting them in the shooting pocket, while Ankeny the last few times down, just really forcing shots.
Got a foul on the floor. Aguirre was hoping that wasn't going to be a foul as he had an easy lane to the bucket. And it will be a throw-in underneath upcoming for the Hawks. Wrapping up our doubleheader action tonight. And on Thursday on the Central Iowa Sports Network, Waukee Northwest hosts Valley or Ankeny Centennial in wrestling. Tyler French and Keith Borness will be on the call. And then on Friday night, we have Ankeny against Waukee Northwest, and Dowling takes on Southeast Polk. So a lot of action still upcoming this week on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Girls game wrapped up before this one. Good win for Dowling Catholic. The girls continue to extend that winning streak to 9 wins. The boys trying to get a winning streak of their own here tonight.
Yeah, you could really have the sense that both teams are pretty similar and that they're heating up at the right time. But I tell you what, Ava Zedekar is must watch if you're a girls basketball fan. She is, as advertised, just a sophomore and just a well-rounded Dowling team, well-coached. And, Ankeny on the girls' side, just trying to find that consistency like we talked about in our first broadcast. But a lot happening here in the state of Iowa. 2 weeks from now, you have girls state wrestling out in Coralville, and that'll be the string of state tournaments to come for not only boys wrestling but basketball. Fun time.
Ooh, Maddox Ward. Nice little acrobatic shot. Yeah, it's with girls wrestling now having their state tournament. Like you said, you get that train of state tournaments as girls happen, which boys team duels happen that week as well in Coralville. And then we continue on with the boys state wrestling tournament, get a little bit of a break. But by a break, we get some amazing district and regional matchups in both boys and girls basketball as we head to the postseason. And then we have the girls and boys state tournaments. Full time out on the floor. Ankeny trying to put together a couple shots here. 45-29. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondAuto.com.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening. Take a look at the replay on the Maddox Ward. Nice up and under acrobatic layup. He paid for it when he hit the floor, but got the layup to go. Ankeny starting to put together a little bit of offense here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it took them a little bit, but yeah, scoring 8 points here. 8-5 advantage for the Hawks. And, Maddox Ward is one of those guys that, you love to have out there as one of your senior leaders. And sometimes he tries to make that superhero play every now and then, but, like we saw with that great up and under finish, especially in the absence of Carson Johnson, he's a guy that, will have to get going here for Ankeny if they want to try to climb back in this one.
Number 20, Andrew Nyungi. Haven't seen him on the floor a ton tonight. There's another three-pointer. Joey Capola. Between Capola and Ryan Kleppe, the three-pointers have just been dropping like crazy. Dowling leads by 19.
I like that timeout by Coach Thielke for the Maroons just to settle his guys down. We're a little stagnant on the offensive end. And how about that screen set by Akers to give Trimble a good look from the corner. And so now Ankeny, again, you're in a position here where you cannot be trading baskets.
Yeah, start hitting shots, but like you said, can't start trading. There's a miss there. This game is far from over. Still 2:38 to go here in the third quarter. Ward down to Akers. Akers off the glass. Nice basket. Lead is back down to 14.
Well, and Akers, like we talked about in the first half, he's just somebody that off the bench, he can give you a little bit of everything, and that was a nice find by Maddox Ward.
Another three-pointer by Dowling. That won't go. If you're Dowling, you don't want to get in rhythm where, you start hitting so many shots, and then you're like, all right, let's just keep shooting if we're not going to miss. Then you start, getting in your head just a little bit.
Yep, shooters are going to shoot, and this is a Dowling team that does not lack confidence, even when they've had their lulls, which there haven't been too many of them here tonight. And you almost saw Capola.
He was thinking about it. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Dowling on top of Ankeny. Capola off a screen. Good guard by Aguirre. Colin Clark had it there for a second. Go right back to the top of the key. Back to Clark. Colin Clark for three. It's good. Colin Clark, younger brother of Caitlin Clark, the Iowa basketball star, knocking the three-pointer down. Three-pointer by Ankeny won't go.
Well, I saw what his sister and the Hawkeyes did last night, so I got a three for you. I'm sure she's back home watching, and good to see Colin off the bench be able to get into the scorebook.
Clark back the other way. Stop and wait it out. 1:12 to go here in the third quarter. Clark, one of those players that when he come off the bench, he's got a little bit of size to him. He can kind of move around. He can beat you down low. He can beat you at the perimeter. He's a good asset here for the Maroons in his senior season.
Well, in basketball IQ, I think that's the biggest thing with Colin. And, obviously growing up in an athletic family, battling with his older brother and sister, basketball is king. And so he just a smart player to have out there on the floor. You just can't have too many of those. And every once in a while when he gets a good look, he's going to let one fly and knock it down. So it's been that kind of night for Dowling where just everyone's getting involved.
13 seconds to go on the shot clock. Odie almost had a shot to take it. Clark picked up by Patton. Clark all the way. Nice up and under move off the glass.
Boy, and Jamison Patton was challenging him, and how about Clark just evading him And a Euro step in the lane and finish. The craftiness from the senior.
Colin Clark with 5 quick points here for the Maroons. 10 seconds separate shot clock and game clock. Maddox Ward all the way from Altoona. Can't get that one to go. Push all the way down to Clark, and he somehow almost got it up and in. Just a little too fast on the transition bucket. Shot clock is dead, but that's not stopping Williams. Good save by Ankeny, or Dowling, and Ankeny will hold with 10 seconds to go on the clock. Ward with 5. Maddox Ward stop and fire for 3. Off the side iron. And that will do it for the end of the third quarter. To the fourth we go. Offenses continue to roll. 53-36. Dowling leads over Ankeny. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, Hunter Phillips with you here this evening from Ankeny High School. Maroons lead 53-36. Dowling will throw in. This is Colin Clark throwing in. Colin was a big part of that extension of the lead for Dowling Catholic. He had 5 quick points here off the bench. And the Maroons trying to put this thing away on the road against Ankeny. Morrow. Back outside. Maroons kick it around a little bit. 3-pointer from the top of the key. That will roll in. Davis Scheck. If you're just tuning in, that has been the story of tonight. There's the 20-point lead for Dowling. 3-pointers have been aplenty tonight for the Maroons.
Yep, and it's just been good looks. You know, continue to have that good ball movement. You get these guys an inch, they'll go ahead and take it.
Aguirre, tough basket down low, won't go. Will go back up strong again and get fouled. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2 for the Hawks. Dowling 6-7 on the year, trying to get back to 500. And it would be a 3-game winning streak for the Maroons. Wins over Johnston and Iowa City West. And those are tough. That's a back-to-back Friday-Saturday type matchup that they had last Friday and Saturday.
Well, you know, you talked about the run from Ankeny there, you know, in 2020 at that state tournament. Johnston, a team that had made it to the title game on the boys' side. And, you know, have lost some talent, but, you know, each and every year, you know, they always have a good number of players that can really make an impact. And then everyone knows about the younger McCaffrey playing at Iowa City West. I mean, 2 talented teams and taking care of business on your home court. I mean, that's what it's all about. And so, you know, the question was, how were they going to come out here on the road, especially against an Ankeny team that, hey, they were playing some really good basketball coming in as well. It started the win streak off against Waukee like we talked about earlier, but, you know, Hawks just came out a little flat.
Well, the last couple trips to the line have not been friendly. It has not been a good night from beyond the arc, or from beyond, or at the free throw line for Ankeny. That's another back-to-back miss. They've had, I think, 4 tonight that they've missed both tries at the free throw line. Not saying that's the reason you're down by 20, but that does make a big factor. 3-pointer again from the wing by Scheck, won't go, rims out. That Iowa City West squad, like you said, very talented. Jack McCaffrey, just a sophomore, younger brother of Connor and Patrick McCaffrey. And obviously youngest son, too, Fran McCaffrey of Iowa. Expect him to join his dad at the University of Iowa. And once again, that McCaffrey brother, or McCaffrey last name, he's very talented for Iowa City West. expect to see them at the state tournament here in the next couple of years. There's a foul on the floor. That's the 4th foul committed by Dowling this half. I mean, it sounds crazy, and maybe, I wasn't paying attention to earlier years, but there is so much talent all across the state in both boys and girls that you're starting to hear names more. And I know social media plays a big part, and I can be biased because I, run social media for Bound, but, you really start to see more names. And, these athletes, they're good, and they're all over.
Yeah, and we saw 2 players, one on the boys' side, one on the girls' side, that are going to represent the state of Iowa in the McDonald's All-American game. There's a nice dish from Colin Clark finding his teammate up ahead, but totally agree with you. And it starts at the grassroots level. AAU is continuing to grow here in Iowa, and then, these kids are able to shine here at the high school level after, getting the work done in the summer, multi-sport athletes as well. But yeah, you're seeing, a player like a Caitlin Clark who, is right now on track to being Player of the Year.
Three-pointer from the corner. Joey Capola continues to hit. Like you said, Omaha Blue just this afternoon announced that he was going to play in the McDonald's All-American game. There's a timeout by Ankeny. And that's a big honor. Obviously, they're going to take a full timeout, I believe. We're just going to stay here while we're here. We'll talk about it. So Blue gets into the McDonald's All-American game, joins the like of LeBron James' son in the McDonald's All-American game.
That's right.
Williams from Waterloo West, she gets in on the girls' side. And for the boys, I was trying to think back. That's got to be the first Iowa McDonald's All-American maybe since Harrison Barnes. I don't even know if Harrison Barnes made the All-American game. But
yeah, I mean, you look at Marcus Page.
Oh, Marcus Page did make it.
Yep, Marcus Page, yes. The guy from Marion, and I think he's the first Iowa State commit since Marcus Pfizer.
Yes.
You got to take the Rolodex way back then to find that. So, no, really a special time to be a basketball fan here in the state of Iowa, circling back around to Caitlin Clark and what she's doing at the national level. And we've seen, fortunately here, a lot of the homegrown kids stay here with the basketball programs here in Iowa. We're seeing Tucker DeVries playing very well at Drake and Des Moines. You're seeing guys from the, Michael Duax and Bowen Bourne's playing terrific at Northern Iowa. And, and Taman Lipsey is having an unbelievable impact at Iowa State in his first year. So that's the really cool thing, is seeing guys who have got the attention from schools all across the country, but they want to stay here. Basketball is really taking full court here in Iowa.
Talent all across the state, that is for sure. A Geary floater won't go. Good rebound by Akers. And I got a foul on Clark. With 5:11 to go here in the fourth quarter. All Dowling Catholic this evening here at Ankeny High School. Maroons trying to move to 7-7 on the season, trying to break Ankeny's 3-game winning streak. Aguirre down low, no, put back, won't go. Ankeny got that big upset win over Waukee. Caught the Warriors on a pretty tough night, but ever since then, Waukee has obviously turned it up. But that's a good win on the resume for Ankeny when it comes to seeding and whatnot. Obviously, the association does the seeding now, obviously with the rankings and whatnot, but Kleppe with the miss. I'd almost like to see it. I know there's not enough teams for it, but the quad victories like you see in college basketball, separate these teams in quads, just not separate them, but how they're playing and their records and whatnot. Quads make things interesting, and it kind of helps you figure out, all right, we have 4 quad 1 wins. We have 2 quad 1 wins. We have 1 quad 3 loss. Just kind of one of those things to help figure out how we're doing here. But it has been nice to have an official ranking system.
It is, and I think one day, we may even see some of those quad system ratings. I think that would be really neat, and I think a team like Ankeny, if that were the case, that would certainly play well in their favor come later on in the season.
Nice mid-range jumper over top of Akers, will not go. Aguirre with the rebound. Ankeny trying to salvage a couple points here as we near the end of this one. 3:48 to go. Been a tough night for Ankeny, just trying to get the ball in the basket. Carson Johnson obviously getting hurt Big loss for Ankeny, one of your starting players, and also your leading scorer has to sit out with an ankle injury that he sustained in the first quarter. That's a big loss for the Hawks. And Dowling just firing on all cylinders beyond the three-point line.
Yeah, so no doubt adversity that Ankeny's going to be facing here down the stretch, and things aren't going to get any easier because they have to play Joaquin Northwest at Joaquin Northwest later on this week, and that's a determined group after falling to their crosstown rival. So this is really the part of the year where Ankeny's just really going to have to dig deep.
See, they got Centennial again, Urbandale Valley, Linn-Mar, Des Moines Hoover. I've heard a couple rumblings about Des Moines Hoover. A lot of people think that they should be a little higher than they're given credit for. The Huskies have played well this season. They could be one of those tricky teams as we head toward the postseason in terms of the Des Moines schools. Yeah. Not really a big Des Moines school favorite this year in both boys and girls. Obviously, the girls last year, Roosevelt made it to the state tournament. That was pretty cool. But
yeah, I know Dowling will face them later on in their schedule. They're going to be at Southeast Polk on Friday, and I got a chance to call the Ankeny Southeast Polk game last week, and Southeast Polk, a team that, despite their record, don't let it fool you. I mean, they're a team that has the pieces to hang with you, night in and night out. I mean, it's not a team that you can just walk in and expect to, have a average performance and come away with a win. I mean, they're going to make you work. So, but Dowling, they got the confidence rolling coming in, and so that'll be fun to watch them, progress through their journey here late in the month.
Layup rolls in for Drew Trimble. Tough night for Ankeny here tonight, but the Hawks can't down them on the winning streak that they've had. 3-game winning streak here, tough couple teams, and they've stepped up in both these teams. I mean, I cannot overstate both these teams. You do not want to see them in the postseason. They are going to be tough outs.
Yeah, because they've proven that, again, especially against some of the top-tier teams here in Central Iowa. I mean, they are right there with you in the fourth quarter. And so one slip up, and both of these teams can build enough momentum to scare you a little bit.
Nice move underneath. Not quite going to go for Davis Sheck. He's been on fire from beyond the arc. Couldn't quite get it to go down low. I do see Carson Johnson back on the bench. Instead of ice, he just has it in a boot. So, again, hoping for the best on him. That one turned around, up and in by Devin Akers. 2:06 to go here in the fourth quarter. See if you can grab a quick update from Waukee and Centennial here before we go off. I know that's another big game going on tonight on our channel. (50-23) is what I'm seeing. Our producer Randy handed that to me. So Waukee has absolutely turned it on against Centennial. As that one's out of bounds. And it'll go back to Dowling.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you come out on the road, walk away with a win here in CIML play, I mean, can't stress enough how much that helps build your confidence even that much further. And Dowling, I love that they're really still battling out there.
They are.
Even though this game, result is not in doubt.
And they're a tough group. I mean, they love each other, it seems like, on the bench. They love to celebrate for every shot, always trying to uplift each other. And, yeah, this is a good talented team. They're going to get back to 500. And, they can make some noise here as they go to the postseason. They only won 9 games last season. And this year, already getting close to that. Already 2 away after tonight. 1:07 to go. Trimble down low off glass. That will go. Got a substitution timeout to bring in fresh legs. Looks like everyone's going to get some playing time tonight, both on Dowling and Ankeny. This will be a very good win for the Maroons And just like the girls, since 2006, this series was dead even, 13-13. And just like the girl, well, a little bit, it's kind of been back and forth. This will be Dowling's first win against Ankeny since 2019. But, yeah, 13-13, nice, perfectly even. Now it's going to be a little not even.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of the many series, even in football, these two teams have always been in the mix late in the season, and certainly has been that way on the basketball court.
Rebound knocked around, baseline, not going to go. They'll hand right back off, and we got a travel on Gabe Reinert. 44 seconds to go. Dowling will move to 7-7 on the season. Ankeny will drop to 6-10. There's a three-pointer from the wing. And I did not catch who that was. It was either Aid Davis or Avon 51. Well, there's three 51s on the roster. There's an up and under move, won't go. It was either Carey, Davis, or Leg. 11 seconds to go. That will do it here from Ankeny High School. Big win. Going to look a little closer than it was, but Dowling Catholic got hot from beyond the three-point line, and that is going to be all she wrote. 61-49 is your final score. Final thoughts on this one. Big win for Dowling Catholic.
Yeah, a statement win. I mean, here on the road, and to be able to shoot the way that you did, balanced scoring, took care of the basketball, and I really liked the effort on the defensive end. And so you came in against an Ankeny team that was on a win streak. On top of that, really impressive stuff from what we saw out of the Maroons tonight.
I want to thank our crew, Pete and Eric, and then Randy, our producer. Fun night of basketball. We will see everyone back Thursday night here on the Central Iowa Sports Network with Waukee Northwest and Ankeny Centennial in a wrestling match. Ankeny loses to Dowling Catholic 61-49 is your final score. Hunter Phillips, Blake Walker. Thanks everyone for watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.